What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kinda Funny podcast. I'm one of your best friends, Greg Miller, alongside producer/seducer Nick Scarpino.
Hello, everyone.
I'm so glad you've committed to the denim look.
Dude, denim on denim, man. You know what I mean?
I'm not arguing
D
about
on
it.
D.
I told Tim if I ever do a comedy special longer than 30 minutes, I'm calling it denim on denim.
Sure, your Netflix special.
And then the next one's going to be called all white shoes, if it's still cool.
Mouth pudding.
Mouth.
Pigeon Patrol.
Denim Impossible.
Over here, the
Damn.
Hispanic heartthrob, Andy Cortez.
Hey,
Okay, and rounding up the group, Forbes 30 under 30, a.k.a. the second best baby blues in San Francisco, a.k.a. the verified one at Tim Gettys.
Let's
Yeah,
impossible.
boy.
I love that you're his Paul Heyman.
No,
Yeah,
it's
you
good.
like that?
I love it.
Ladies and
Sorry, you're
gentlemen, my name. I already said my name. I'm not gonna say it again. How you doing?
Is that
I'm
a good
good.
documentary? My name is Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Sure it
Paul's
is.
career is super interesting.
Because I've never seen. Here, I guess here's the thing. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about here. I understand, but Greg,
lots
real
of time.
talk.
It's the
Real talk.
Kind of Funny podcast.
I know.
right?
I just cut him off. I felt bad about that. We'll get back to
oh,
it.
wow.
Don't forget what I'm
Put
saying.
a stamp
do
in
this.
it.
Do
It's
this.
already gone.
Do this. Oh,
We're at Royal Rumble.
yeah.
Gia's in. Gia's like, I'm finally understanding WWE. Cool. She was asking to watch matches
Soap
and
opera,
stuff.
yeah.
And I'm like, this is fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, it's an opera.
So I want to show her some documentaries. 'Cause
you get the
I feel
network?
Like that's the best thing. Cool Greg has a network. So
Okay, well,
so I
sorry,
have
my
the
apologies.
network, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to figure out what should I show her? Because she's seen the 30 for 30.
She's
Ric
seen Ric
Flair.
Flair.
That's a great one.
And like that kind of got her in. So
Another good one to watch is the one that got me to re-up the network, and it's that 24, WWE 24, which is their series about like a day, right? And it is New Orleans WrestleMania, the most recent WrestleMania.
did you watch it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Last night I was like, I gotta go home and I gotta beat Resident Evil for the spoiler cast. And I was like, well, I cooked some food, I'll put it on. I'm like, how long is it? I'm all the way up. Watch the entire thing.
cool.
It's great, and it does the thing that I think Gia will find the most interesting, and I think for most people, what they'll find the most interesting is the behind the scenes, what's going on behind the curtain, what it's like for Ronda Rousey to come out and be about to debut at WrestleMania and see her legit reaction to what's happening. To it's Rusev and his girlfriend or wife. I'm not sure. They didn't make that clear, but
Late.
Lana.
not his valet, not his manager. His wife or girlfriend is also a wrestler. I'm not up enough to tell you on that. But them being there and be like, we were here 4 years ago and we were like, we want to do this, and here we are about to do it. And her
fucking
getting to creep out to watch everybody chant Rusev Day and him freak out about it. And then this is the one downside to the entire thing, right? Because for the Ronda stuff, they have all this fucking awesome B-roll of her coming out and her, over it, talking over it, and everybody like, you're gonna kill it. This is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. And she's like, Vince gave me a lot of great advice, and it's Vince McMahon on headset, like doing this, and she's like, he explains that when I smile, the whole world smiles, and like, and how I should, and like, it's the B-roll of him doing what she's saying he told her to do, which is great. There's this one thing that opens it to set the stage, and like, what the fuck was that? And closes it and gives no context to it, to the point that I had to hit up Aaron Porter and Eric Goldman, my two wrestling WWE fanatics, where I was like, they respond quick and they'll be able to tell me. I'd never seen this before, and I don't think they open it with it and close it with it, like I said, but neither gives context. It was this is the WrestleMania where Brock beats Seth Rollins for the title, right? Brock retains the title from against Seth Rollins, right? And he comes back through gorilla position, right? And he walks, and it's immediately awkward. It's like very, like, the room's really quiet, and that ref that I give shit to on Twitter all the time and gives shit back to me does this thing where he's like Brock and Heyman walk in, and he does this, like he was about to clap, and then no one else in the room's claps, and he's like, oh, and he puts his hand down, and Brock walks past everyone in gorilla position, which is the immediate backstage. Everybody's on computers doing stuff, right? Has the championship, takes the championship off, and throws it. As hard as I think you can throw the belt with one hand, you're Brock Lesnar at Vince McMahon.
Very hard.
Who catches it and just goes, asshole! And he walks out. And Brock walks out. And that's how they start the fucking thing. To be like, it's WrestleMania. Tensions are high. And they're like, what the fuck? And you get to the end, and they show it again and never talk about what happened in the context of the thing.
What
happened?
So it was real?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, from what I understand, yeah. Because, I mean, this is all, like, the rest of the thing is backstage shoot interviews with Daniel Bryan talking about his injury. Like I said, Rusev, cool Greg, you know Rusev well enough. He talks with an accent, right, when he talks as a character. he has no. He's not doing the accent at all in this. Like it's very clear. Like, oh, this is this woman I'm with, and this is my life, and this is crazy.
Is this documentary the reason why you broke Cool Greg's heart and rooted against Sasha Banks?
What a fucking thing
Listen
to do
here,
to someone.
man. Listen
Look at
here,
that, dude.
What
First
a
off,
fucking
You believe
First
that?
off,
fake friend
how dare you.
shit to do to someone.
Cool
Listen.
Greg is so mad right now.
I'm sorry,
Cool Greg's on his fucking
playing.
deathbed over here.
It was.
We don't know what medical science can't figure out what he's got.
Do you want this to be his last memory of you?
No, but if it was my last memory of Cool Greg when it was like he's like yeah Sasha and it went quiet and I'm like yeah Ronda and I got this.
Dude, you got
And even James Burke was like step out of the way about what's about to pop off here.
That was utter betrayal. And there was multiple times during that where I looked over at Cool Greg and he shot me with the Cool Greg.
I like Ronda Rousey a lot, and
like,
that's not to say
man,
I don't
yeah,
like
man.
Sasha. I love Sasha as well. I thought it was a great match, but I like Ronda, and I know that's not a
Dude.
popular thing to say.
Man, seeing Ronda in that light, because you have to understand, like, I don't know if you guys really followed her career in UFC, but she
Only when I was at your house
was
eating wing wings.
I only know
not-
from Fast and Furious.
There were very few times you saw her smile unless she beat the shit out of someone. She was notorious for being like really intense and like talking shit about people and making people feel bad. They were competing against her. It was like the Schwarzenegger methodology of like, I'm just going to fuck with you and you're nothing and I'll treat everyone like shit because that's the way I'm going to get the competitive
Michael
edge.
Jordan.
So coming out there, and I mean, I'm sure the WWE is still competitive because you're still largely, trying to carve your way and get a following and all that stuff. But man, to see her having fun like that and smiling and like just enjoying the shit out of herself like that, it was really cool to see. And I don't know, maybe it's all an act. Who knows? Maybe they hate each other,
That's
but-
the thing about the 24, right? Again, is like that's her first huge. I mean, that's her biggest match. I mean, it's her first match too, wasn't it?
For WrestleMania 34?
Yeah, we were at New Orleans, right? Where it was her teamed up with Angle against Triple H and Steph. Yeah, and she killed it, and that was her first thing, right? Then in ring of a real match, and like the you're talking about the smiles and stuff backstage before she goes, and then they have it after the match where I'd never seen the match, right? And so like when she fucking fucks up Triple H and throws him around and shit, and like afterwards everybody coming up and be like, holy fucking shit, blah blah, and like again, I don't.
So fun.
I know that I'm just a wrestling fan, but as somebody who's been around it my entire life, like in reading Foley's books and Jericho's books and everything, like it's driven into you from an early age if you want to be that kind of wrestling fan to respect the business, right? And she does something to me that is so respectful and so on par with who she always claims to be, or I shouldn't say claims, how she presents herself, where people are coming up to her nonstop and talking about what a great job she is. Fuck, I forget who it is. Oh, Shawn Michaels comes over to her and he's like, you killed the Ronda, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, no. And she's like, I was so much fun. And she's like, I'm ready to hear about all the things I did wrong. Right? She's like, because I guess Sean helped train her or that had something to do. And he's like, there'll be time for that later. You know what I mean? But it is such an honest thing
That's
of
so
like,
cool.
yep, I just killed WrestleMania and I know I fucked a bunch of shit up. Tell me how I can be better.
Yeah.
I want to be a performer like that.
I mean,
sorry.
So go for it.
To just finish the Brock story, right? No idea what had happened. Hit up Goldman and hit up Aaron Porter from Rooster Teeth. And yeah, they both were like, I don't know 100% because no one's ever talked about the time Brock threw the belt at Vince McMahon afterwards and stuff. But both of them were like, that match was just universally panned. Everyone hated it. They booed him. They were chanting, "This is boring" the entire time.
Roman, right?
Oh, you're right. It was
Oh, it
Roman
was
Reigns.
Roman.
My apologies. You're right. It was Roman Reigns. Right. I have a hard time.
Since I was there live, I was really happy because I didn't want to see Roman.
Get up a little bit on the mic, yeah.
I didn't want to see Roman walk away with the title. So seeing Brock walk away with it made me happy at the
Yeah.
time, but I could see it being.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, they were like, people were booing and like
100%.
just riding them the entire time because they'd seen this match a million times or whatever. And so that, I think, is what it was. But again, it was such a weird thing of, I want a documentary just about that.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Brock Lesnar, and this sounds horrible, I can't wait for Brock Lesnar to retire and then do the same thing every other wrestler does, where they retire and are pissed off at WWE and then 5-10 years calm down and come back and tell the story of what the fuck's going on. Because him being the part-time champ, right, of like they're just coming in and then just dominating people, like that's got to fuck up locker room morale so badly. I mean, that's why it's so great they put him with Paul, of course, because Paul can talk for him even when he's not there or whatever. But it's just such a weird thing watching him work, where it's like you saw it, like you've known him from UFC, but like even like watching him in the ring, you're like, what a physical specimen this fucking guy is. You know what I mean?
I mean, but the thing about Brock, and again, I don't know any of these people. I don't know fucking anything about them, but with fighters, I think it's a little bit easier to get a beat on like who that person really is, because you can see them either playing it up for the camera or, I mean, it's an intense sport, so a lot of the fighters are like really cool to each other before and after, and some not so much, but you get a better sense of who they are. Brock was always just kind of a stone wall, and you're like, this guy might just be just hard.
Well, that was the thing,
maybe
too.
he's not very personable at
After
all.
he had left WWE the first time and gone to UFC, and like when it seemed like he was really never coming back, I remember reading interviews from him where he was just a shitty person.
Yeah.
Like he was just an asshole, and I was like, this guy sucks. I'm glad he's gone. And then to see him back, especially with Vince McMahon, who holds grudges like few people do, where I was like, God, okay, I don't get it. And then it's like the Vince McMahon, right? That was like, fucking, even when he got punched and knocked out by Bret Hart in real life backstage, right? Like that was a vendetta they carried for a long time, and he was like, so like to see him get the belt thrown at him, and like I'd never heard this story. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, but you have to also imagine. I mean, like Vince is notoriously kind of a dick, right?
Yeah, he gets,
Like
she gets
I
shit
think he
done.
reminds me of like Jerry Jones type guy.
Sure,
You know what
100%. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
way or the highway.
My way or the highway.
I
I
got
mean-
like several texts from my friends Caesar and CP during the Royal Rumble
Sure.
match of like, hey, if Brock like steals your hot fries, what do you do? Like just questions like that because he's so gigantic, you know.
Dude,
Yeah.
have you ever like? Oh, you never actually stood next to him or like been in the room with him, have you?
No,
Holy fuck!
I've been in the room with Shaq.
No, so I didn't.
Andy had such a normal person reaction to that of like, no, how the hell? Why would I have ever done that?
Yeah, I think I did see him
UFC
in-
shit.
Yeah, I think I saw him
I've
at a UFC
interviewed him,
event.
or I did something with him and Dana White for UFC.
I think I did once. I think and I might be mixing him up with Shane Carwin now, but I'm pretty sure I've seen him in person, and he's fucking terrifying.
He's insane.
Like,
Even in the ring, like that was the thing of us, like, you know, from our spots at the Rumble, and this is just another podcast about the Rumble, right? Damn.
Whoa.
Look at Shaq dominate
is
Brock Lesnar.
Insane. Hold on.
Show it to the kids there, Kev.
Brock would
Give me
kill
1 second.
Shaq.
It's okay.
Look at that. Shaq was honest to God the most terrifying human being I've ever been around, and
Yeah.
he seemed like a nice guy. But at the same time, at one point in the video, he grabs Andy's head, and I legit was like, "Oh my God,
He's
the
gonna
mountain!"
twist it off.
The mountain. He's gonna
He's gonna
close his
collapse
hand
it.
by accident. It's not gonna be on purpose.
Yeah.
Just by accident.
Doesn't know his own
And-
strength.
One
I
of my
want-
favorite things that have ever happened in Kind of Funny history is Shaq fucking just palming Andy's head.
There's two things that are disappointing to me about that, though. One is it came out so fast we didn't have time to get you a little general costume.
Yeah.
And two,
Yeah.
the next time you get to interview him, and there will be another time, you have to dress exactly like him and sit on his lap like you're a puppet.
Jesus.
He
He's
might
very
be
familiar.
okay with that. I don't know.
Shaq would totally be down for that.
He
we
loves
keep
me.
sending Vin Diesel messages and getting nothing back. Shaq, we get it fucking. Shaq, we want to do a Vin.
When is Shaq gonna be in a fucking Fast and Furious movie?
Yo.
You don't want Shaq in a Fast and Furious movie. He's not moving as fast as The Rock. It's
He
just
could be
gonna
the
look
Furious
sad.
Bro is an athlete, all right? You watch your mouth.
There's plenty of roles in
wanna get
Fast and
Charles
Furious that
Barkley.
don't involve being fast.
You have not seen
the chief,
Fast
the
and
chief,
Furious.
Paul
There are
Walker's
no rules.
chief. Paul Walker's chief is
Nah,
never
man,
fast.
it gets faster. We're at 5 now.
It
just
does
keeps
keep getting faster.
By 8, everyone has to be running around constantly, like that, like
It could
fucking
just be
crank.
cool. It'd be cool if I was
Right.
casting Fast and Furious. Which number are we up to?
Nine's
Nine.
coming
9.
So what in the all female one? That's a spin-off, right?
That'd be 9.5.
We'll say if I'm
Wanda.
casting 9.5, right? I got a Batwoman in it, right?
You got Ruby Rose.
Yeah.
No, she's
Yeah.
in Triple X. You're thinking
Really?
Triple X. Yeah,
Oh.
she's the character in the next Triple X.
Who the
want-
fuck's
I
in
want
this?
Ruby
all-
Rose in the.
Here's what I
we
want.
don't know.
I want
okay.
Becky Lynch in the next one.
Let's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
go.
I mean, honestly,
dude.
honestly, at this point, they should at some point try to bring back Ronda, because she's probably the biggest name out of any of the female leads in any of these things, right? And Gal, I guess, but no, Gal. Well, whatever.
yeah, I don't know. I don't
Ronda
know.
would
If
be-
I'm
I
casting
have a
Shaq
feeling-
in 9.5, do we
He'll be
know
like the Charlie of the
Do we
Charlie's
know about
Angels?
any? No. Do we know about any of the settings or anything?
No, I have a feeling that the all-female thing is going to be
Basketball
with no
court.
female we've seen before.
Yeah, the
Also,
only thing,
no, just setting though.
yeah, I don't think
Do
so.
we know where we are?
The only thing I know
I'm
is what he
putting
said. He
us
tweeted or
on a
Instagram.
tropical island
Yeah.
for a stopover. Right?
Staples Center.
They were on their way. They were on boats. Right? They had their cars on boats. They have to steal a car from a boat, so they're on some high luxury cruise liner. Right? Not like fucking Carnival where it's like all these people from the Midwest. I'm talking about my family here. They're just on a fucking thing to eat at a buffet. I mean, like they're on like a fucking fire island that doesn't suck and it's on a yacht. That kind of people, right? And
right,
because
the
of course we
dream.
need fucking asses walking by taking up 3/4 of them. We got this fucking car we got to steal, right? and shit goes totally sideways. They can't pull it off. They got to jump off, and there's like what are the jet skis? They got jet skis.
Ski-doos.
They get on ski-doos and jet skis, right? They peel off to an island there. It's not like a deserted island. They peel off to this island over there, Bahamas, right? And they get there and they need help, and they're going and like, what do we need? We need arms. We need armament. We got to go to war with these people. We need to somebody to fucking fix up our jet skis and make them like fucking water tanks. You know what I mean?
Ludicrous.
Shit like that. No, Shaq. Shaq is running the island there where he's doing it. And they walk in, and you know what you think, of course. They cast Shaquille O'Neal in here. What the fuck? We all know him. And they're like, are you Shaquille O'Neal? And then he's like, yeah, I run the arms on this island.
He's playing himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
And he
wow.
play himself as Tej, aka Ludacris's dad. Because we know,
Fuck.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck.
That's what I'm
Fuck.
saying. Because we know that Tej is the mechanic slash, just hacker genius.
No.
But we also know he's the guy that is closest related to the jet skis.
Listen,
Fuck, that's great, Tim.
Listen,
that is
thank
great.
you.
Can we
No,
call?
I
I'm gonna. Hold
Send
on.
another.
I don't like
message
that.
to Vin
Why don't
Diesel.
you send a message to Vin and we'll figure it out? But I don't like to play devil's advocate here. And you know I'm the one that always talks shit about people and then thus ensuring they'll never come on our shows.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big enough stretch to think that Ludacris is an engineer.
Vin, it's Greg Miller again from Kinda Funny. We're recording a different show we do now called the Kinda Funny Podcast. Just came up with a great role for Shaquille O'Neal in the all-women version of Fast and Furious that's coming out soon. We're all very excited, aren't we, Nick?
Hey, Vin.
Yeah. What's up, Vin?
It's Andy. No, these are just going. I mean, you all get fucking messages from non-friends. They just go to this giant void no one ever
Giant
sees.
room, the
Yeah.
room of no return.
But I mean, there may be the one day where Vin's just, oh fuck,
I should check that out.
You gonna follow it up or what's
Oh
up?
shit!
You
You
gonna tell him
right.
what
You
need?
right.
Yeah.
You right. What you drinking, Greg? Vin might want to know. Dom might
And just to
wanna
prove
know.
we're cool, Vin, we're only drinking Coronas.
To prove we're cool.
It's about family, Vin. It's about family.
I have to tell you what, guys, we're either getting arrested or we're getting in Fast and Furious 10.
Fuck, that'd be amazing. I just
Where
want to be one of the
They're
person.
driving, right? It's in Miami. They're no, we've heard of it. They're
you
in
got- you're full of
Arizona,
pitches
and they're
today.
driving, right? And they're trying to steal a car off of like a moving bus party.
How about
But it all
Hawaii?
goes
That's 10?
sideways, and they jump off, and they need armaments, and they come to a little roadside shack. We run it, and they're like, wait, is this a shack owned by Shaq?
Shaq?
And we're like, wink, wink. Here's some stuff.
And then
Drive
there's a
safe. And then we
spin-off.
say drive safe as they go.
Oh shit! I really
And
like
everybody
it.
who knows our podcast is like, that's really fucking good. And everybody else is like, that was a weird scene.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna paint you a different picture of how we could be integrated into Fast 10.
Please do it. But while you do that, I want to remind everybody this episode's brought to you by sponsors we'll tell you about later and Patreon producer DJ Kento.
Here's
This table, we never fucking.
here's what I'm thinking.
Just have fucking fun once in a while.
Damn it,
that's
drink
what
that beer.
makes
Drink
me
that
have
beer and
fun.
shut up. Drink that beer.
I think
Drink
it should
that
be in
beer.
Hawaii
Drink that
on a
beer.
volcano.
Here's what
Like
I think.
that's the next.
I love
step.
the Hawaiian setting. I say we ditch Shaq. He's too expensive, and let's be honest, doesn't move as fast as he used to.
Why do we care about the
Can't
speed of
hit a-
Shaq?
Can't hit a fucking.
The speed of Shaq.
Can't hit a 3 to save his fucking life.
I don't think.
Nobody
he's-
my
needs it. You put him in the
God.
Can't hit a
paint.
3 to save his
Yeah,
life.
I don't think he's that
Okay.
expensive. He's in like a lot of different things.
Here's what
Again,
I'll
with
say.
Shaq, remember, Shaq backs things he actually supports, like the General Auto Insurance. We could do it if we just sell them on the podcast.
Here's what I'm saying. Vin Diesel and the girls, maybe he's not in this, the girls get into trouble, okay?
Why they gotta be girls?
And they're like, the women, the females leads of this series that are not objectified in any single way are like, hey,
Also, do you think I'm sorry to stop you, but as we're pitching here, we're having this is a great brainstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think in the female version of Fast and Furious, they go somewhere for cars and a fucking dude walks by in a Speedo and
God
it's
damn it.
3/4 of his ass?
That's where I was going.
My apologies.
And that person was going to be Andy. It was the camera was going to pan up, and he was going to be wearing this cute little all
Speedo?
see-through white
Little Andy
strong,
panties?
and then it keeps panning up, and it's just
God,
Andy's belly.
why?
It was going to be great.
I'm sorry that maybe you should have picked me to be on AFK with you. You know what I mean?
AFK. Yeah.
I got fucking.
Can't even name the show. Jesus Christ, dude. So disrespectful.
What's fucked up is that's how old I am, where I default to IGN is AFK,
Yeah.
which was Tal's podcast for like 14 weeks, but spread out over 3 years because it was never consistent. And that's what I'm like, AFK.
That was a great name, by the way. Is that they? We should,
If we end up in a Fast and Furious movie,
Yeah.
that's when I'm like,
won't
wrap
not.
it up. Kind of funny.
no, dude. No, there's so many.
There's
other
always,
I'll get
there's
higher
always
than
another
that.
one.
No,
I don't
we
think
absolutely
there
can.
is.
And here's how it is. At some point, they are going to make, now that Daniel Radcliffe is a bit older, they're going to go back and tell the stories of him as an Auror, and me and Cool Greg, and maybe Joey, if she's fucking nice to me when we play Smash Brothers, might get a walk-on role in that movie somehow.
And I get that. But
That
like,
would be
I
the
have
height of
nothing
it
to do
for
with
me.
that.
Either
I
that or...
want to be in Fast and Furious 11 Tokyo Drift 2. That's what I want.
When are they gonna make Tokyo Drift 2, bro?
I think it'll be 11.
Yeah, you think so?
Because Fast 10 is going to be Fast 10 your seatbelts. And then
No, it won't be. No, it won't be.
hey, we got
That's gonna be
Fate
that's
of the
the
Furious.
You got. You also got Endgame right. I'm not saying you're not right. You
I
don't
did get Endgame right.
You're not right about things. I'm just
No
saying
one
that's a
believed
terrible
me.
title.
I mean,
Here's
it's
the
not
big
bad.
question though, because we've talked about it before.
I mean, everybody had Endgame.
And when I talk
though.
about it, I mean, like, I think I
Bullshit.
mentioned
a
it.
lot of people said Endgame.
Yeah. Who said it first?
I mean, a lot of people were saying it.
No, you weren't there.
Did you see my
literally,
tweet?
No, hold on.
Look
Even
at the date
before
of my
that.
tweet. Yeah, bitch.
Everybody was saying Endgame, not just you, Tim. This isn't just a you thing. Everybody was saying Endgame.
I haven't-
But
I
you-
actually
don't
have
you-
it
Did you
on
go
good
see it with us?
authority.
Did you see Infinity
Yeah.
War? Don't you remember literally Doctor Strange Iron Man says whatever, and Doctor Strange is like, it's Endgame. And Tim literally went up, that's the next movie! That's the next movie!
No, literally, we left the theater. I'm like, it's Endgame. Why they say it that much? Done.
And we saw the first
everybody
screening
was saying
of it ever.
I'm pretty sure the Russo brothers were behind us. in a cap and sunglasses.
They just scratch out Avengers Infinity War 2 and then circle Endgame underneath it. They're like, this guy's got it.
Fuck yeah, this guy.
Let's put that
got
guy in the
it,
movie and
man.
that guy in a sarong on a beach somewhere in Hawaii with Shaq. Fucking weird. It's 2 minutes ago.
So my question for you then is this.
Yes.
So I'm sorry. Fast 8 was the last one, right? Mm-hmm. So now we have Fast 9 coming one day. No, that's not that. We don't know.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
9 and 10 are being shot, quote unquote, back to back.
Yeah, we'll see
By
about that.
Justin Lin.
It
Okay.
sounds like it starts in a month filming.
Yeah.
And that's Rock isn't in that one.
Not in 9. So far.
Do we know anybody else is not in it? Because again, I'm still with you. I'm
Paul
still
Walker.
saying. Good point. It's true. It's good. It's true. I'm still saying that they're gonna break apart for a while, and I think it's got to be 2 or 3 movies before you come back. And just let me. I'm pitching. We're pitching. You break them apart for 3 movies, 2 movies, and then you do the super thing that brings them all together. And this is the one where they finally do go to space. And not that they go to Mars, but they're on whatever
Space.
fucking. I don't know.
Space Channel
Deckard
5.
Shaw's younger brother has a fucking thing
Space
that's
station.
like it's just he wants to get up into orbit to fuck Richard Branson. I don't know, and like that's the fucking thing. You know what I mean?
I think
Richard
you're wrong
Branson.
for spoiler reasons I don't want to get into.
Okay, fair.
But I do think they're going to end the franchise at 10.
Oh.
I think it'll be spin-offs after that.
But then, okay, but even then we get 5-10 years of spinoffs before we have to bring them back together.
Absolutely.
One
But
last
I mean,
job.
my thing is, I don't think there's going to be that many of them
And it's the
to bring
O'Connor's
back together.
kids.
It'll be bullshit like that though. But we're not
Fucking
going to
bullshit
get
like that,
like,
you kidding me?
oh my God. do you
we
think-
will never
yeah.
get the Avengers. The Avengers will be dead by then.
I read a crazy
Lay it on
fucking shower thought on Reddit that was can you imagine being sent to a different system in space, like a different galaxy?
No.
And
It's terrifying.
as you're on the way, you think you're going to be the first person
Shut down.
landing wherever, but maybe somebody else is sent later than you with way better technology and they get there faster than you. Isn't that fucking crazy?
That has nothing to do with.
That'd be cool though, because then you'd land. The guy would be like, hey,
Just think
man,
about space.
I'm going to show you my favorite restaurant.
That could
Like,
be
get
the
at the
plot.
whole
Like,
lay of
that's
land.
You
it.
get there, somebody. Oh, you know what? It reminds me of like when you get to a restaurant, you're like, I hope they get there first, so like they can get the table.
They get the
for us,
table.
and
They
they
get-
wait
they
long.
take care
One
of
of them was
shit.
using Google Maps and the other was using Apple Maps. So you got
Yeah.
there
Or
first.
one of them was me and one of them was Kevin, and Kevin makes it his mission in life to get everywhere faster than me.
Wait, why won't Joey drive with Kevin anymore?
Because
he's
Kevin
the
almost
worst.
fucking T-boned a car right in
Shit,
front of
dude,
them.
that's don't lie. Don't
Joey!
fucking lie. No,
Joey shit herself.
don't lie. Stop fucking lying.
I mean, Kevin, it was bound to happen sooner or later.
That's not what happened.
Joey shitting
Alright.
yourself with the
No,
team on it?
you
kidding.
like
Joey did not
You
poop her
almost getting
pants.
into an accident.
I didn't almost get
I like that our
accident.
company is that kind of company where you have to clarify that
Just
statement.
clarify, Joey did
No
not
one really
defecate her
just to be clear, Joey didn't poop her
So
pants.
what happened
No,
is
I did not.
we were
Mike's
driving
just
through a
said.
narrow street, and someone else came super fast,
Tiny Kevin.
super fast, and I was ready to dodge.
Joey, I'd
we
like
both
an
braked in
unbiased
time.
opinion from a pants pooper. What happened?
So yeah, we were driving. Kevin does. So we were leaving lunch yesterday.
Yeah.
Kevin does the thing where he like whips around a corner really
Yeah.
fast to scare us all
I
at
gotta
the
do it
beginning,
on
which
Joe.
Kevin can't deny that he did because he told us it was funny.
Denying it.
And then we went down like these narrow ass streets that are around our neighborhood, and we were like flying through it. Can
We
you
weren't.
can-
I am.
It was
I-
one of those streets
damn
that
it.
is just narrow enough where they should not let people park on those streets.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were allowing parking on both sides. So it's literally you can only fit in the middle. And there was another car also coming pretty fast. And Joey screamed. And
Unironically, this was like a legitimate, like, I could die right now scream.
I was legit ready to duck into
I don't think
the driving
that, I don't think Barrett's hands have like unclenched
the
from being
garage.
around
Yeah,
the like
I was
handle.
ready.
Oh, you got the oh shit handle? That's bad. Yeah, that's bad news bears.
I was
I always
ready
have
to.
that when Kevin's driving.
Sure, no, I
Yeah.
know. It's alarming.
Hey man,
I
do
didn't
we
have
get
time
there
with my-
first? Do
I
we
We
didn't
do
have time
get
to
there
put my
first.
seatbelt on.
I complimented you on that when we went to Burgermeister last
How
time.
often
remember
have
the
I
time?
gotten a speeding ticket?
I don't know, Kevin. I'm not your
Twice
lawyer.
over the span of 12 years.
But it's because cops aren't around you.
That's
Also,
not
maybe
cops
you're
are
driving in
constantly
Tokyo.
around me.
Aaron Roots in the chat brings up a good point. It's a good thing that Kevin has 3 cars.
The greatest thing about it.
My favorite thing is when we were doing that bit. I kind of locked eyes with Kevin for a second, and I saw it in his
'Cause I
eyes. He was
saw-
like, "Something's coming," and I can't see the angle on this. I can't see the angle. Well, the second I was like, "We're gonna save Kevin for last," I think that was like, "Okay, here he goes."
Kiss
We
of
know what's
death.
happening. Anyway, we really are. But to be fair, I just put it out there that maybe Joey may or may not have shit her pants because of something you did. So.
Joey, I want an update, but first I'm going to remind everybody you're watching or listening to the Kinda Funny podcast each and every week. Usually four best friends gather on this table, each bringing things that are happening in their life together. Unless there's Nick who walks off in the middle of it, literally at the thing. It's similar to when we started. It's like where we are and who we are established. It will never get better. And I think we talked about this on the last. I don't know if we did it on the GOG, the final GOG, but definitely on the last stream. Where all right, we're gonna go live for the thing. Where's Nick? He's in the bathroom. Someone knocks the door. Nick just goes poopy poopy. And then we started, and he comes out. He's like, oh, somebody would have told me. Like we all said, we were starting the show.
It's been the plan.
It's our 4th
for Kinda
anniversary.
Funny Day 4.0. We're going live at 11 a.m. has been the plan for months, if not years,
poopy,
based
poopy.
on previous.
If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where the entire month of January we've been crowdfunding the future of Kinda Funny, meaning that one day we can get a better studio, more employees, and everything else under the video game sun. You guys have been amazing in supporting us, but we'll talk about that in 1 second. If you support us on Patreon, of course, you can be part of the show. The bronze tier members get to submit topics, ideas, questions. I have a whole bunch queued up if we need them. And then, if you're a silver member, you get the shows early, ad-free, as an MP3 with the pre and post show and all that stuff I just said with a video as well. You can watch it live, of course, as many of you are right now. And if you don't want to toss any money our way, because you just can't do it, and I understand, head over to youtube.com/kindafunny or podcast services around the globe on Friday, and you can get the show there.
I
Joey,
love you so much, Ed.
we started this fundraising thing January 4th.
Correct.
Thanks, Joey. Can she have something,
Christ.
Barrett? Oh my God.
Fucking
What is
sit
wrong
down
with
and
him?
watch
Why is he-
Looper, you fucking guy.
Hey, leave him alone,
shit.
dude. He's
He
trying
does
to be
keep
helpful.
throwing the
That thing is
bottle.
deep,
He looks
dude.
like a young Bruce Willis. On January 4th, we did the fundraising thing. We asked you all for $50,000 to help us fund the Kinda Funny future. You guys were overwhelming your support, and in 27 hours crushed that. Since then, we've been growing, doing more money. Of course, this has been new pledges. It's been increases of existing pledges. Today was the second stream. We funded a world tour. We are going to a whole bunch of places. Joey, what is the update? We're going to London now.
We are going to London.
Holy shit.
Okay.
It's very exciting. Can I get a drum roll, please? Thank you. We have hit $78,000. Which means that you guys will now get WWE interview hosted by one cool guy.
Cool Greg's first show. Cool Greg, an on-camera personality. Now, here's the thing. We're excited for that. We're excited. Kevin, can you throw it up one more time? So you see all the meet and greet stuff there. Of course, we've already done the Arizona meet and greet. Up next is San Francisco. Then it's going to be Kansas City. Then it's going to be New York. Then it's going to be Vancouver. Then in the second half of the year, we try to do everything yellow you're seeing right now. And if you're an audio listener, there's a bunch of yellow stuff. Is the first 6 months. That was up till 50. Afterwards, the stretch stuff where we'll start it afterwards, including now the Persona 5 spoiler cast, a London meet and greet, and WWE in review.
WWE in review starts sooner than that.
Oh, sure, I figured.
Okay.
It's another $1 show like Greg's Comic Book Club
Yeah.
on patreon.com/kindafunny.
That'll start officially in February.
Perfect. Okay, great. What I want this up there for is the $80,000 up-and-comer opportunity. I know if you're an audio listener, it's going to be after January, or audio video on Patreon. It's going to be after January ends, so our fundraising for the month will have ended. But if you're watching live, we're at 78, we said. So we're $2,000 short of $80,000. If you're not familiar with the up-and-comer opportunity we've been talking about, the idea here is, I think, one of the most exciting things we've done in this fundraising campaign outside of the World Tour, because it's awesome to go see best friends. But in 2018, the mission statement for Kind of Funny Games Daily was me finally admitting that we had a platform, feeling established, and welcoming people to it to come talk about what they do. And what I meant by that is smaller streamers, smaller personalities, people who write the news stories that are freelancers and you don't know. People like Odell, people like Belinda, the list goes on and on. Aiden. We love doing that. So it's been crazy the amount of people who are like, I'll fly myself to San Francisco just to do that, just to come out and do that. The up-and-comer opportunity, what we want to do is if we hit that stretch goal, which we're $2,000 away from right now as of recording this, we will fly somebody out here. What we're gonna do is put out a link that'll basically be like, nominate creators in the industry, smaller people that are Kind of Funny best friends that are doing this and deserve to have their voices heard by a larger audience. We will fly that person out here. We will put that person up for a week. They will do Kind of Funny Games Daily with me Monday through Thursday. And this is, as you pointed out, if they're not games people, we can put them on morning shows. We can do all this different stuff. But we're probably gonna be games people because that's how it works. Friday, the idea would be that we have them host Kind of Funny Games Daily. They're in my seat. They're leading the show. And I'll try to get a guest of their choosing from the games industry in here. Plus, they'll be on Gamescast. Plus, they'll just be in the office. The idea here is that we are building our future. As I put out in Twitter, and I haven't had a chance to interact with it today, building our future, when I think about it, means so much to so many other people's futures. You know what I mean? If that makes sense? Like Andy and Joey and Cool Greg and Barrett, and like people we've added into the family since we started, and we will continue to do that. Names I don't even know yet, people I haven't even met yet, right? Because this is going to hopefully go on forever, right? And so I want to help people do that on their own right now. And I'm not saying that we're going to hire these people, but I'm saying I want to bring these people in here so that they have clips and they get seen on an industry wide level, that people can be like, oh my gosh, I saw person X on there. They were great. I'd like them to come host a PAX panel.
It's resume building.
Exactly.
It's a good way to be like, hey, look, here's what I can
when
do. When
IGN does say, or GameSpot or whoever says, hey, we're hiring somebody, they can be like, okay, cool. Here's all my writing samples. Here's my website. And here's me hosting a week of Kind of Funny Games Daily, hanging and learning and doing this. And then even here's me hosting a show all by myself. That's the point. That's what we're trying to do right now. $80,000 is, for me personally right now, not the final thing. If you want to get us to Australia at $100,000, great. Let's go. Remember, Tim and I talked about this publicly. We didn't know if we were going to hit $20,000.
Yeah.
All of this is crazy. 50 is what we wanted. You got us there, but I would love to hit 80 just to make somebody that offer.
It's
and
the
get
future.
Them
It's the real. This has been funding the future. Kind of funny. The first 50K was really the next 6 months of Kind of Funny. But now that we're past that, it is truly the future. So I'd love to hit that 80 because I want to get some new blood in here and put them in front of everyone else.
Cool. Andy,
What's up?
how you doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm
Stressed
all right.
out? You
Hey, let me ask you a question,
I'm
Andy.
just tired.
How close were you? Because we had some upload issues earlier today. We tried to upload some of the shows for anyone that wasn't here. The shows,
Not
basically.
some of them, the shows.
Games Daily, KFAF, and then like all the Patreon stuff. Tried to upload those. We ran into a lot of issues. Finally, Andy was like, you know what? I'm just going to run home real quick, upload KFAF, just at least get it done.
I feel like you're skipping a whole bunch of steps to really make people understand how fucking fucked up Kind of Funny's luck is. So let's start instead at 9:55 today. It's time to go into standby for Kind of Funny Games Daily. Gary and I settle in. We sit down. We're about to start a 12-hour stream.
This is the fun part.
Everything is great.
Do you know about this?
They go live. Everything happens, and I finally go, "Hey Barrett, are we in standby?" And he goes, "Yeah, we are. I think so. Yeah." And I open up. I'm like, "It says we're offline." And he goes, and he walks over there, and Kevin's like, "No, it says we're live." And I'm like, "It says we're offline." And so Kevin stops it, restarts it, switch the server to San Jose instead of automatic. It says it is live. I see it on mine. I'm like, great, put out the tweet. We're live. It's a 12-hour stream starting all day long. And we love you guys. Thank you for making our dreams come true. And instead, we start the show, get through the intros, and Kevin's like, and I'm like, what's happening? And Kevin's like, we're having issues. I'm like, is it Twitch? And he shows me the Twitch support thing that is like, we're having trouble going live. Things are down. And I'm like, cool. let's just struggle through. Let's just go on. Let's just get the show done. It should always be the default, right? Like, we want to make it live, but it's not. It's no big deal. We do the show. Eventually, we're told we're back. Everything's great. We roll into AFK. They flip everything. Or KFAF. Sorry.
When he starts
It hasn't
calling,
won the stream
when he
yet.
starts calling me you, that's when we need to put him in a home. We're gonna take care of him.
Everything's fine or whatever. But then the idea was, of course, we talked about this yesterday, right? Of how are we going to upload the shows while we're streaming? We don't want to fuck up the stream.
Right.
We know our internet's not great.
Yep.
Let's get ahead of the fucking
Let's
problem.
plan the shit out.
No
Tim,
problem.
You're gonna go home, and because you live closest, you'll upload the shit from home.
Great idea.
It'll be fun.
Great idea.
Cool. So I come in, we do the hour or whatever that we talked about everything. Cool Greg exports everything. I get it on a drive. I go home.
I'm
I got
dominating
Jamba Juice
Fortnite.
first. Yeah, dominating.
Big
I
victory
heard a lot
round.
of
Big
cheers.
victory round.
You
That
fucking
was
dominated.
fantastic.
Yeah,
You got
that's
better
big
at
one.
that.
God, that was good. I get home at a home that I've lived at for 3 years now, and I'm there.
And thank God, you went straight from here to home.
I didn't.
Oh, where'd you go?
I had to go to Jamba Juice.
You had to.
Had to.
Had to.
Dude, it was 80 degrees in San Francisco.
You
If
have
it's-
air conditioning in your car.
What's up?
You have air conditioning in your car.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah,
it's
but
like-
you can't take the car with you inside.
Yeah.
I'm with Tim on this one.
Yeah.
Jamba Juice is like a little mini fridge that you put inside yourself.
Okay.
Exactly. I
My
needed
apologies.
something. I
My
needed something. I already
apologies.
had my Trenta iced coffee of the day. You know what I mean?
Did you
like
bring
that one?
anybody that requested iced coffees to work too?
I did. One of them.
Oh, just one of them.
Just
When
one
I
of
get
them.
Andy
So multiple
is when I'm
people.
happy.
Multiple people asked you for iced coffees, but you only brought one.
Greg Miller also asked me for an iced coffee. I did not see his Slack
I love
message.
it.
I saw Nick's, who asked me after you did. 30 minutes after. But I wasn't looking at Slack at the time. It was
80 degrees,
listening.
dude.
It was 80 degrees, dude. I can't think. I'm so white. I'm so pale. I can't deal with this heat, this 80-degree
scares
heat.
you.
I had to get my razzmatazz or whatever the
Absolutely.
fuck I got from Jamba Juice.
That makes sense.
Get back to my house, start uploading.
40,000 calories.
It starts. It starts going up, and I'm like, "All right, cool. This shouldn't take too long at all." And all of a sudden, it just goes, and I see the little bottom right corner of the Windows,
The little
thing
red
where
X with the
internet
white- or
is-
the red thing with the
And I'm
white
like-
X.
I was like, "Why? This isn't good." Restart my router. Like instantly, I'm like, "Fuck it. It's probably my router." Do that. Takes about 10 minutes. Try to get back online. Still the red thing. I'm like, oh, this is bad. Look at my phone. Look at my Comcast app. It's like, there's a outage in your area.
Fuck
I was like, I've been here 3 years and this has never happened. The one time I come home to upload. So I was like, well, this sucks. Call Joey. Joey talks to Kevin. Kevin's like, go to Paula. And I'm like, all right. So I go to Kevin's house. Have to deal with his cat for a bit.
Said go to my house.
Did you have to did the cat look at you and say, "Hey, got a little thing right here. Can you crack my neck?"
And
Papa
Tim's like,
Kevin
yeah, no
always-
problem.
So anyway, long story short, Tim comes back. It's like everything's uploading, but sorry, KFAF's like it's gonna take like 2 more hours. And I'm like, cool. And Andy pops his way in, and I'm like, hey, it's gonna take a little while. I'm thinking about going back to my place. He goes, don't do that. I'm closer than you are. I'll pop in my car. Just upload the YouTube version of it. It should go
Not
pretty
close,
quickly.
by the way.
What's that?
Andy.
No, but still
Closer
than
than
me.
you, but
halfway
not
between
close.
me and here is
Yeah, it's
Andy.
like 20, 25
yeah,
minutes.
not too bad.
Now it's like, it's close distance wise,
Right.
but with, a red light every 4 feet.
Yes.
It's about
Well, it's
25
the middle
minutes.
of the day, so traffic shouldn't have been bad.
But the question
So
is,
it's 4:38
so finally
or
you
some
get
shit.
there.
It
You
was
text
bad.
me. You text me like 50 minutes later, like, hey, it's uploading fast. This thing's processing. We're good to go. And then
3-minute upload. Our internet, dude. What do I tell you?
then
What do
the
you want me to
big
say?
question.
really good. That's really
then the
good.
big question started circulating around the office. I'm hearing whispers from people. Do you think he's coming back? Because Andy has been known to lay down for a 5-minute nap and fall asleep for 6 hours. And you were up really late last night making your arts and craft project. Great bet on AFK though.
I'm so glad people can see it.
I was
Yeah.
so close. As it's uploading, the processing obviously took a little bit longer.
Because you could have, I'm not going to lie, you have such goodwill with me and the team right now because of all the stuff you did for KFAF today. You could have ghosted on us and I'd have been like, he gets a pass. And we would have just
I
taken
don't know
it
if
out
I
on Barrett.
agree with that. He had a
would've
lot of
taken-
goodwill with Nick. If you just ghosted on all this,
Oh, I would have
would've
taken it
had a
out on
problem.
Barrett. No, I would have said Andy gets a pass. We're taking it out straight on Barrett or on Joey during when we play Smash Bros.
Sure.
Yeah, so the video was taking a while to process, and I was going to leave. I was going to come back, and then you were like, can you make sure it's the one with
with
the
the
ads?
ads.
And I was like,
It said
fuck,
with
I'm
ads,
pretty sure
but I
it
was
was.
like,
There was 2
just
different
making
versions.
sure.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I did that one, but I can't watch it because it's still processing, so let me wait a while. And then I kind of just sat in bed, and I looked at my pillow, and
Yeah, it's
luckily there was enough
spider.
things on my bed to deter me from just fully laying down
What was
because I
on your
still
bed?
had all this arts and crafts bullshit.
Glue
And
sticks.
God, can you use anybody who wants to Photoshop or draw it? I'd love to see Andy on his belly, his legs kicked up, the feet crossed last night, cutting with construction paper, putting
Looking like
together
the
his
thank you
little-
next video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so I kind of like laid down. I was just like waiting. I was like, oh man, this feels so good, and I'm so sleepy. And the lack of sleep has just been accumulating over and over and over. So by this point, I feel like I've lost like maybe a full day. In
Yeah,
the
because you
last
just
several-
caught kind of on sleep
What
from
was-
our crazy weekend in Phoenix.
What was YouTube January? Is that what it's been
January,
called?
yeah.
January, where it's only January, but it feels like it should be June.
It feels like you're halfway
Sure
through
does.
the year, yeah.
Sure does.
And then eventually the video uploaded, and we're like, all right, this one looks good. And then we're trying to get Games Daily. I was like, Games Daily's not in this folder. Only Fran's video was on, but that was from yesterday, the 29th. And so I was just like, fuck, man. I'm so close to just sitting here and just staying here for like an undetermined amount of time. But then I got back in the car and I was like, I need an energy drink in the worst way because I'm going to go back to the office and work on all this stuff that I'm working on. And then that's going to be, I need a giant ass NOS. So I got like the most sugary fucking
You got
crazy
NOS.
NOS
Oh,
energy
Andy
drink.
goes Nos, dude.
And it's called it's called Nitro Mango. And it's delicious and it kind of pumped me up, but now I'm feeling the crash.
I'll tell you, when we
So
were
as
leaving,
we're recording at 9:30 p.m.,
Yeah.
Games Daily still not live for public.
shit, sorry about
Consumption.
that. I should have probably had Andy do it. He would have definitely fallen asleep if we had to upload one more thing. So, give and take.
No, it wasn't on the drive. I would have had
That's
to
what he
come
did.
back and
No,
then
I
go
said
back.
I should have thought I was in a
I
tizzy.
was kind of worried though. So I get home and on my older laptop, and I think I don't know what the problem was, but I start the upload and it's like an hour and 42 minutes. And I was like, it's got to be something with YouTube then, because there's no reason why I should take that
Yeah.
long. Cancel the upload, busted out my Razer, and plugged in the Ethernet to it. And then I did like a speed test. It was fucking like 900 down, 900 up. And it was just like 3 minutes. I was like, oh, fuck, we're this is pod racing, guys. Like, we're in now. It was fucking awesome. Yeah. I felt so powerful, man.
You were
Felt real
great.
powerful.
You knocked it out of the park. MVP today.
Thanks,
If we should give away MVP awards every week, I would get most of them. But you could have one this week.
Okay.
You and I, you know what? You and I could share it. We'll share it.
I think Kevin and Barrett and Greg deserve a lot of it because they were on the stream a lot.
Who?
The guys from those
You know,
other
the guys
shows.
show you
from the
fucked
other
over.
shows.
You know what I mean?
Kevin.
You had a fucking trailer in there for your little fucking movie, and so your shit's got to get #1 priority. I see what's happening.
I got people-
for a fucking
let me tell you
bird,
one thing right
you
now.
stumped for me to get a Webby.
No.
Where's
No.
Greg and Kind of Funny Games Daily
No,
streaming? You know what I mean?
because I spent a good portion of my night last night longer than I should making that graphic for waiting to get finger blasted. But I also
And then honestly, like we were talking about it earlier in this show, but
I
it's
also
like to
made
me,
the Johnny Ace trailer.
that is Nick Scarpino in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Where it's like he does not want to have to do any work.
No.
Like he's like, this KFAF,
much.
this sounds like way too much work.
It's a
I don't
lot.
know about this. But then the moment he's doing it, he's gonna put in 10 hours more work than he needs
100%.
to. But that's what makes it worth it. Because
to everyone else, I don't think they even see it. But I do it mostly either to fuck with Tim or make Tim laugh.
it makes me laugh so much because when I watched the Waiting for the Finger Blasting trailer, I heard you guys recording it and I was like, this is funny. It was kind of like the Gia moment earlier where it's like, you're like, all right, like I get it, but like
Yeah.
it's not
Tom
hilarious.
knows.
Is
We're
this
not
worth
subtle.
doing? Whatever. But to watch it though, I'm like, this is actually fucking brilliant. But when it ends with a fully motion graphics waiting for the finger blasting, I was like, I know how long this took Nick, and it was not less than an hour.
So,
it
yeah.
was not.
He sent me just
20
the-
minutes just to render.
He
I'm
sent
sure.
me just the image, and I was like, all right, so I have the image. I'm just not really sure how to end it. Like maybe like do I just like cross dissolve in and then like wait for a bit with your dialogue over it of like. I've got my finger on the pulse of comedy, and I'm waiting to blast, and then fade out. And he was like, "If you want, I could just like render out a version where like the neon lights turn on and flicker on." And I was like, "That'd be real cool."
Here's the problem. Andy eggs me on. You all do this to me, right? Don't, it's not my, and then we egg each other on. It would be cool, if we went to the Royal Rumble. Cool. What time do we have to fly back in the next morning? I mean, technically, we get no sleep for 3 days. Is that
I was watching
legal?
the podcast.
Remember when we were at the fucking Walmart and I felt so Andy's just staring at these Legos. I was like, I'm so excited by this. It was the one piece of like purity he'd had to it. I'm like, I'll buy the Legos for you, man.
Fucking
you're
buy
not
those
getting
Legos.
you're not getting weekend for the next 4 months.
I was laughing so hard at the, like, yeah, Cool Greg was mad at you because you gave away the chair and like, we're sitting, I'm carrying this chair like it's like cross the bear like I'm Jesus of Nazareth and we can't get off the fucking field. I was laughing so hard. We can't get out because you all felt it.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's that moment, dude. There's that moment of when you're exhausted and it's like you can't have no control. It's either gonna be funny or like not. It's like not even anger. It's terrifying. Like I just want to go.
Yeah.
How can I go?
I can't get out right now. Yeah, I'm stuck here.
God, that was so.
We've had a week, guys.
It's just gonna keep going.
I know it's great though, right?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That's the thing about it. Like this is the stream we're doing, right? We talked about this morning. I was like, we've hit the 50. I don't want to like stump and push and do a million stretch goals because this is victory lap. This is a celebration. Like, yeah, I want to hit 80 right now because it's right there, and I want to you know
hit that 80,
give
man.
somebody a chance. Joey's looking at numbers, I'm sure. But it is the fact like this month, man. Like you know what I mean? Like this has been. I've never been unhappy at Kind of Funny. I've never been like, what are we doing at Kind of Funny? But like this has been the month where it's like, wow, like we are on such a roll and we are about to have the biggest year of our lives. Like the
Absolutely.
things they don't even know about that we're working on behind the scenes. It's
On
like
top of the
wow.
world, baby.
Wow.
I don't even know about him. I'm excited to watch along.
I don't either,
You've
but I think
given
I'm
me
doing some of the
crucial
contract
advice on this.
negotiations. Yeah, I mean that's the thing for me. It's like we have hit a stride, and there's an energy I think, especially in the office, that I don't think ever been there. Like we've had really, get it, Barrett.
What's up?
Barrett.
Me and Tim have another round.
Vin Diesel's watching. Can you bring some
Another
more?
I'll
Corona?
check. I'm gonna check on
Hey,
Instagram, see
you
if
can
you're
have
funny.
anything to drink as long as it's Corona.
Yeah,
Thanks,
exactly. That's the thing. Like
my man, pound it. Family.
you pound it,
Yeah.
pound it, cannonball, pound it. There it is. No, but I mean that's the thing too. Like I think back, like
No
one of my
response?
happiest memories
No,
is when we
but
went
I'm-
down for Let's Play, and I think that was Let's Play, right? Where we all ordered pizza 2 days in a row, and I'll never forget. I saw Andy shower and he just came and sat in his cute PJs, and we watched American Vandal, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And I was like, I wonder if that'll happen at Phoenix, and we all sat and watched The Office for like 4 fucking hours, and I ate Taco Bell, and Gia was like, this is the best moment of the whole trip. Gia kind of sat down, and Gia gets that look where she's a full grown woman, but she pouts a little bit like she's really disappointed, and then all of a sudden she's kind of like your child, and you're like, oh no, we disappointed her. That was the look she had, because Gia and I bond, by the way.
Oh yeah, you got a bond.
When you guys are doing your crazy shit, like fucking yelling for dudes in Speedos, she just looks at me and we go, I know.
Yeah.
But she came back after you guys couldn't get food at that restaurant, and she was so crestfallen.
Yeah.
And I looked at her and I was like, well, I went to Taco Bell. And she was like, oh, Taco Bell is really good right now. And I was like, Gia.
You know the story, right?
I was like, Gia, you understand that when Papa goes to Taco Bell, Papa brings back enough food for a fucking army.
That was my
right?
as somebody who I was angrily making a DiGiorno pizza in the other room.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even that. You're like, oh well, you can have a taco. She's like, I can, thank you.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I'm still kind of hungry. You're like,
stopped 'cause I
oh,
didn't know what was happening.
you can have another taco.
Yeah,
and
have
you probably
another
she's like,
taco.
I don't want to eat your food. And Nick, without missing beats, like. No, whenever I go to Taco Bell, I just order a bunch of extra tacos.
I do. Because I never know if I'm going to want another taco. You never know. And I always
And
end
it's
up
like
eating
this
way too much.
endless bag of extra food.
Oh, man.
Hey, I love it though because like we really have something special here where it's just like somehow we've turned our lives into the sleepovers we had when we were 12.
It's really fun.
But
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like on a much bigger
I was
stage.
worried. I felt like I severely disappointed Gia by like I didn't want her to go to Peter Piper because I didn't want to drag her there, and I felt bad seeing her not enjoy the wine, and I felt like, oh man, like
You need to think about it from a different perspective. You need to understand it from
She
the fact
dates Tim. She goes to terrible restaurants all the time.
there's that, but more than that, like she's just down, dude. Like she's just like, I'm in it for the story. She gets the content. She understands content, even if it's not being filmed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
knows this meant something to you, so she's like, "I'll fucking do it."
Yeah, but also,
but then also it's like she'll drink any wine anywhere. Well, there's exceptions, but like
Chardonnay never.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's the thing.
lady at the
She knew
Walmart.
we were going to that brewery next door to us that was going to have decent wine. It was like, let's gut
she
this
didn't
out.
know it would have decent wine. But.
Well, she knew it would have a
was
better
shot.
selection than the Chuck E.
Peter
Cheese
Piper's pizza.
ripoff that we were at. Man, I felt
Gotta
awkward in
love
that
it.
place. That was fun though. Good
I
pizza,
loved
though.
it.
I'll go back.
That's
I'll
what
go
I'm
back to
saying,
that place with you anytime.
We spent way too many hours
Lot of
with a
money, too.
camera at a Chuck E. Cheese for all intents and purposes.
filming everyone's kids.
Being adults. I
Well,
love
that's
it.
the funnest thing
It's what
about
we
like
do, man.
like I it's what you mentioned of like if it would be like Let's Play, but I love it's rare, and I know that sounds weird, but it's rare for us all to go on a trip together. I feel like we all go off on trips all the time.
Well, I haven't seen you in 4 weeks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm off solo. You'll go do solo. You're
Yeah.
about to go do Montana stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Tim will go do events. He'll go do appearances or whatever. It's like we're all spread out. So like for us all to travel, like not only that, it was like stick with me because this isn't what it sounds like. It was the fact that we went on this one, and there was this added wrinkle for me of, oh, this is the first trip Jen hasn't been able to go on for a while, which then meant that when you guys were all playing Shuffleboard Obsessed, I got to sit over there and just be a gal with Paula and Gia, and they were
Yeah,
drinking
you
wine.
did.
We were talking shit about people. I was like, tell me more. And I was like, help me
fun.
find.
Usually my
Did you?
role.
I don't even I told you this. I don't have to dress this up, I don't think. Stick with me. It's not bad. It's not, but it's, anyways, you'll see in a second. I did literally where all of a sudden Paula and Gia were dealing with their grandmother, or I guess grandfather, but probably grandmother with me, where I was like, by the way, I need your help. And they were like, what do you need our help with? And I'm like, Poe hit me up last night, whatever, it's a blur of time, right? 2 days ago. And said, Poe hit me up last night when I was going out with Jen and told me this girl we went to high school with died. And they're like, oh, I'm like, I wasn't that close to her, don't worry about it. But I was close enough in high school that I was like, oh, okay. And I tried to find, and I was like, how did you, I asked Poe, I'm like, do you still keep in touch with this girl? And he's like, oh no, it's not on Facebook. And I don't use Facebook. So I have no knowledge base of Facebook. So I was like, can you show me on my phone how I would go about finding this information?
God, dude,
Because the night before I was like fucking in Facebook.
I heard you mentioning that.
I was in Facebook.
How good are you with Facebook? I heard that question.
That you want to know?
Facebook's Google.
It's literally like when I'll come home, my mom's like,
trash.
can you make
The
our printer
router's
work?
broken.
Facebook is fucking trash. I had a very similar experience to you the other day. I was trying to post. We got that poster in for Waiting for the Punchline, and we had the Big Sky documentary fest olive branch on it. I was like, oh, this is the first time I've ever done anything that's got the fucking like cool. What are they? I forget what they're called. There's a name for it. Yeah, wreath, I guess. And I was like, this is so cool. I want to tell everyone on Facebook, like my actual friends, like people who just follow me or like my close family and all the comedians that follow me too. That I was like, I want to put this on because I'm super proud of this. And I go to post it. And I'm like, fuck, first obstacle. It's not letting me post. And I don't know why. I uploaded the thing. It's not letting me post. I don't know why. Is it too big? Is it too far? I asked Tim, and Tim, in the first time ever, was like, what is it? And I go, Facebook. He goes, ooh, not my back.
Well, no.
My back.
He was like, Facebook, what are you trying to do? And he's like, trying to upload a video. And that was when I was like, I've had such bad experience with
Same
that on
here.
Facebook. So that's when I was like, and I tried helping you, and I failed. But
I was like, I need a millennial. And he's like, you're going to need
I
to go
know just
younger.
the guy.
You're going to go younger than
Barrett
millennial.
Courtney skating on his fucking skateboard, sunglasses with the
Heelys,
wings.
dude.
Bart's
Bit
will
of
eat my
skateboard.
shorts, dude.
Oh my god! And Barrett came, and I thought Barrett was gonna fail me at first because he was like, "I can't figure out what's going on." Turns out I just had I needed to click something that we.
Yeah, there was
I
like a
forgot what it was.
specific button or whatever. But then we were also trying to figure out how to tag the production company. that
Yeah,
worked
which you
on it.
think you'd be able to do in Facebook? Who the fuck knows
you
if you can or
can't
not?
you
do
can.
it.
You can tag people.
Well, no,
We couldn't
there was
figure it
specific
out.
of like it was like a page and shit.
Yeah.
It was like a
Okay.
business page, and they were like, "You can't tag a business page," and I was like,
It's some bullshit.
fuck off."
I love when when
Facebook.
Bear was hired and started here, and I was like conversating with him. I'm like, oh yeah, so like you're doing all this stuff. Like no one's really talked about your responsibilities. I would love this, that, and the other. And he was just like, oof, yeah, I don't know about some of those things. I was like, what? Well, we should have done some research on what we're doing. But look at him, Land of the Blind. He's got one eye. He's like, let me fucking show you how to how to click yes. You can post this on Facebook.
No, but to be fair, not that we're paying compliments to everyone because I don't want to start that kind of shit right now. But I do want to pay Barrett a compliment.
Kevin, good job on those 3 cars.
Is Kevin still over there?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I can't see him. He hasn't.
He is.
I need to know.
He hasn't made a sound in a while, so he's either looking at the chive or on Reddit for.
He's had the
Why are you
window
bringing
open.
that joke back up from today?
It's just really
He
funny.
was like, "Oh, I haven't looked at the chive in 3 months."
There was a span of like a week back in the old apartment where Kevin would look at the chive every once in a while.
line
and I'd
was-
catch him, and he would show me, and we'd bond.
The line was, yeah, Kevin's always fucking looking at the chive. I haven't looked at the chive in years. Oh, is it me who's always looking at the chive? Like, you confuse yourself with him. What is wrong with you?
Anyway, back to Barrett.
No, I'd rather bring this up because this is just for people in the room.
Let's not compliment
Just look
him.
over there. Just look over there.
Fuck you, Barrett.
If I no, look up and look over there.
Yeah, I
It's
see
just
it.
the green screen moving slowly to the side and getting pulled down. If Kevin hadn't just talked, I would think he's having a heart attack and he's like seizing, trying to pull himself up.
It's
over there.
like the shower curtain when you're just trying not to go into the water.
I don't know what he's doing, actually. What are you
It's
doing?
like you're
never do.
fishing and you're
You
seeing the
never
bobber and the line going like, what is happening over there?
I love it.
And then the maniacal laugh.
But I tried
green
helping
screen.
Nick with this Facebook.
Oh, good,
thing.
I'm glad.
And when you guys brought me on as social producer slash production,
Yeah, whatever.
whatever.
Social content producer.
Yes,
That was the
social
worst day in the office. And we were like,
producer.
fuck, we gotta come up with titles for
I,
people.
and I was very honest. Like, this is a new ballpark for me. You know, this is not something I'm familiar with. So I feel like I have learned as much as I can so far. But with Facebook is just a weird,
It's
weird enigma now.
And that's the thing. I don't have a strong understanding of anything. But Facebook
Yeah.
is unfortunately
fair.
where a lot of the comedians, the comedy community in San Francisco, they reside, and that's where they promote a lot of things. And I'm just like, I fucking hate. Like, finally, my buddy was like, "Hey, can you send me the link to your trailer today?" I was like, "Absolutely," and I sent him the Rooster Teeth link because we hadn't posted it yet. And he watched it. He goes, "Oh shit, you should follow me on Twitter." I'm like, "You're on Twitter?" And he said, "LOL, I know." Like, he was just like, "I don't understand why comedians think it's fucking like a smart move to not have a Twitter presence."
Dude, here's the thing. Like, to get real for just 1 second on this.
Comics
on
are
this
dumb.
podcast,
It's
you know what I mean?
Fuck you.
Facebook is like, it was such a big thing.
comedians. You fucking. It's not all about you.
The comic community is very riled up about Bill Maher, and I'm sorry if I thought you were taking a shot at me on the way out. Who would have thought Nick would
geez,
just poke me and run away?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unbelievable.
That's fair.
But no, Facebook was like, it is modern communication between people of just
Yeah, of
like,
course.
let's create it's a network, the social network,
social
some
network,
would call it. But it hit a point where it became pay to play, and so many brands were relying on it to get their ideas out there, to get their products out, to get their marketing out there. And now it's at the point where it's like the brands that are really successful have moved past it and are now on Twitter or Instagram, even though it's owned by Facebook, but all those other things. But Facebook itself is still super powerful because of how many people can get you in front of.
Oh, sure.
But you're not going to get put in front of them unless you pay.
Oh, that's interesting.
You're going to get put in front of like 5% at the start or some bullshit like
and it's
that.
some ridiculous number where even if you have a million followers or likes or whatever they're called on Facebook.
Thanks.
Is it likes for brand pages?
Still, yeah.
It's likes hearts. It's reactions.
But they also have follows.
You still like the
No,
page.
like-
Oh, maybe that's it.
There's like, it's split in some weird way, but it's like no matter how many you have, you're only going to be seen by 5%, no matter what.
I don't even know if it's 5%, but it's a crazy low amount.
Some very, very small amount. So it's like a lot of independent artists, like musicians, and a lot of smaller YouTube channels, comedians, whatever. They're still using it the way that it worked 10 years ago. They're not using it the way it works now, which is essentially, and I know this because Gia working at Cora,
Right.
where she works, it's like she is on that side of the marketing, and it's literally just pay to play.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And with how I work with Rooster Teeth so closely, on the marketing side, it is literally a 1-for-1. If we pay this much, it will be seen by this many people.
You'll bump it up to 30% of your audience.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you
whatever.
know that 30% will result in the CTA call to action of people clicking through to subscribe to whatever the fuck
Question:
it is.
Is that worth investing in though?
Let's play with your salary, and we're going to take 15% of that and put it
You
into
know
this.
what? Fair.
My argument is for people like us, it's not.
Yeah.
Because that's not what we do. We don't have that type of large quantity of audience. We're a much more, we focus on the group that we have and give them what they want.
Right.
You know?
Guys,
See you
I
guys.
have a huge update. Huge
Fuck.
update.
Did Vin respond? Did you see Vin respond?
Huge update.
Shaq died.
I watched some more Blue Planet too
Oh, Jesus.
Great
Hell
show.
yeah, you did. Hell
on
yeah.
Netflix.
Great show.
I have a couple of
When
one
was this?
update.
Was
at
this
least.
during the day when the rest of us were working? Was that?
No, this was last night while I was doing the arts and crafts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll shut up.
It was like 2:30 in the morning.
It was
2:30 in the morning.
I was sleeping.
I found another. Well, not I found another animal. I don't want to act like I discovered it. Obviously, it's like on camera in 4K. It looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous, Kevin. They found it. Cuttlefish. We've all heard of cuttlefish, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen what they do? Really, really cool.
Is this the invisible headfish?
No, invisible headfish was my first update.
Gotcha. Okay.
Second update.
Hey, I remember it. You know.
You remember it? Yeah, exactly. So second update, the cuttlefish is this cool like looking squid thing, right? It's got like little tentacles in the front. It's like a mini squid, like a baby squid. But they eat these. They eat crabs on the bottom near coral or stuff or whatever. And what they
Could
do
use
is
a few of those in college.
they have their
Just
color.
shave it.
They have their pigmentation changes.
Bald like a deserted island.
Like they could change to anything, right? The color wise, and that's how they
Gary
hide from.
Larson
That's how
comic.
they hide from sharks. But when they're gonna eat a crab, they blink white and black. Like it looks like they're apparently they're like
Strobe lights?
Yeah, it looks like a strobe light kind of. Like it's like
Does
it's
it
going
make them
from
mesmerized?
the
Does it mesmerize them?
It fucks up with the crabs and they get like hypnotized, and that's what like brings them out and shit.
What a fucking
and then
horrible
that's when
thing.
they just like and they fucking like grab them with their tentacles and they just eat the fuck and like it showed like a crab like flying away with this. Really really crazy, but also like tons
terrifying.
of pollution in the water, man. Tons of pollution in the water,
Yeah,
guys.
it's really sad.
We need to fix this, dude. There was a video. There was a clip of there was a turtle. They showed a dead turtle like wrapped in a fucking weaved something. And they were like, and David
So
Attenborough
many
was like,
turtles, though.
in the 1970s, plastic was invented. And plastic is, he talks about the history of plastic. How it's like, oh, we wanted something that like was really hard to break down and hard to destroy, something reliable, but that's the reason why the oceans are dying. And like they showed like all this dead sea life, and there was a calf that was like dying or whatever. And then it also showed a whale sucking milk from another whale, like a baby whale sucking out milk. And they were like, no, this is how David Attenborough said it. It was so gross. He was like, the baby whale will guzzle down gallons a day. I was like, ugh, dude, like you're just sucking
Word
milk.
choice,
You're watching
man.
fucking whale porn, you
You're
nasty
sucking
shit,
milk.
Andy.
No, but it's
That's
like
worse than what Nick searches
It's like
for.
mother-daughter whale porn because it's
it's
like
not.
it's a daughter sucking from a mom.
Christ.
That's what's in right now.
Speaking of how fucked everything is on the planet, this broke today while we were doing this. Scientists have detected an enormous cavity growing beneath Antarctica.
It's like me when I had my broken tooth and
Exactly.
I had to get pulled
Antarctica is not in a good place. In the space of only a few decades, the continent has lost trillions of tons of ice at an alarming rate and can't keep up with it, even in places we once thought were safe. Now, a stunning new void has been revealed amidst this massive vanishing act, and it's a big one. A gigantic cavity growing under West Antarctica that scientists says covers 2/3 the footprint of Manhattan and stands almost 300 meters tall. This huge opening at the bottom of the Thwaites Glacier, a mass infamously dubbed the most dangerous glacier in the world, is so big it represents an overt chunk of the estimated 252 billion tons of ice Antarctica loses each year. Researchers say the cavity would once have been large enough to hold some 14 billion tons of ice. Jesus. Even more disturbing, the researchers say it lost most of its ice volume over the last 3 years alone. Coral Reef has suspected for years that that Thwaites was not tightly attached to the bedrock beneath it, said this glaciologist from Irvine. Look at that.
So I stopped using straws, man.
Thanks to a new generation of satellites, we can finally see the detail. We're all gonna fucking die.
Do you guys? That's cool. Do you guys want to see a sea creature that looks like the xenomorph from Aliens?
Oh my god.
Wow, yeah.
Isn't that the
That's real
fucking
close
stuff
up.
of nightmares?
thank you.
Real
No,
close
thank you.
up.
This is something called a giant caecilian, and it is fucking terrifying.
Describe it to the audio listeners.
It looks like a pale. It looks like when the
And the
alien was
video
first
listeners.
born, and it's kind of white, like pale white. Do you see this? That's terrifying, isn't it? That's the kind of shit that kills you. You don't even know it's coming.
Yeah,
I just looked up. I wanted to look up. Do people live in Antarctica? Because I'm an idiot, and I was like, I wanted to like know. But like, real quick, does anyone in this room know if people live in Antarctica?
You can
know the
live like
answer.
full time. That's where they are. They're not like doing some outpost bullshit. I'm gonna say no.
no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
That's what I thought too.
There's 300 people living there doing bullshit outpost work.
They don't count.
Okay.
Remember in Man of
But
Steel,
I
we
just
saw
typed
some
in
of them.
"do people,"
Yeah.
and
God, here we
the Google fill-ins are: do people live in Antarctica? Do people live in Greenland? Do people live in the North Pole? And do people live in the Arctic?
Santa.
And I was like, yeah, you stupid fucks.
Paul Walker lived in Antarctica and Snow Dogs.
He did.
Is that-
Then he
that's
went back
Cuba
to
Gooding
save the
Jr.'s
dogs.
Yeah.
Was
No,
Paul
that's Happy
Walker in
Feet.
Snow Dogs? Was this how Snow Dogs came up on the
We
show?
talked about it in part one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember him that. Cisco was in it though.
Cisco wasn't in
It
it.
was like,
remember that.
Snow Dogs was an endearing. Again, we've gone down this road before. No pun intended. But Snow Dogs is an endearing movie. It actually has a pretty good score on RT, if I'm not mistaken, because he has to go back and save the dogs.
Yeah,
They save his
People love
life,
dogs.
but then he's like, "Where am I?" He wakes up after a coma, and he's like, "Where's the dogs?" And like, "Oh man, we couldn't save him." And he's like, "Bullshit," and goes back like commando style to the fucking island and saves the dogs.
Rambo
and they're all
style.
still living. They're barely living out there, having kind of a good time sometimes though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Woof woof.
Woof woof indeed. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a word from our sponsor. This episode of the Kinda Funny podcast is brought to you by Upstart. Applying for a loan is a lot like applying for a job that you don't get to interview for. Instead, loan companies make their decisions based off your credit score and history without getting to know the whole you. Now, thanks to Upstart.com, it has never been that way and never has to be that way again. Upstart is revolutionizing the way you borrow money by rewarding you for your job experience, education, and more in the form of a smarter interest rate. I have said it before and I'll say it again, everybody. When I first moved to San Francisco, I got divorced pretty quick. And then I had to pay my taxes and pay for a divorce, and it sucked. And I took out a loan, and none of this was accounted for. I got screwed over. I wish Upstart existed back then, and you should too. But I guess you don't have to wish it existed then, because it exists now. Doesn't matter. Unlike traditional credit underwriting, which could be based and biased against people with a short credit history, Upstart goes beyond the traditional FICO score when assessing your credit worthiness. Upstart believes that you're more than just a credit score. They make it fast, simple, and easy to check your rate in less than 2 minutes without affecting your credit score. And the best part, once your loan is approved, the funds will be transferred to you the very next business day. That's right, Portillo, the next day. He's not as excited. He doesn't remember how hard it was to get a loan. Hurry to upstart.com/kindafunny and find out how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate takes only 2 minutes and won't affect your credit. That's upstart.com/kindafunny. Upstart.com/kindafunny. God rest in peace.
Girl from Ipanema. The
Yeah.
song that it sounded like you guys were kind
Back
No.
from the ad.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
That's just
It
the
literally
beef.
goes, I think the best songs of all time,
Yeah.
and stop. We got Bohemian Rhapsody, we got Girl
Sure.
from Ipanema, and
Tom
we got
Sawyer.
We got
This is
the
wait. Are you doing a
Music
bit, or is
theme
this
song.
these are the songs you think are the best songs of all time?
It's real.
It's clear.
Girl from Ipanema. What was the second one?
Well, Bohemian Rhapsody, number one.
My apologies.
Girl from Ipanema.
Yeah.
And then now the bit part would be.
Have you not heard Stacey's mom?
I mean,
Stacey's mom has got it going on.
How
She's
about?
all I
Oh,
want
how
and-
about? Fucking. I believe in a thing called love. Just
I hate that song.
What?
I hate
That's
that song.
such a what?
That song's weird to me. I don't like it, and people were singing it all the time when Rock Band came out. And I fucking hated
Sing
it.
I don't know,
Star.
Nick. It's
That
pretty
is
cool.
such
Star,
a you
whatever.
fucking song,
It's dumb.
dude.
And I also don't like the one.
No, before you get there, let me tell you.
I'm blue. I'm blue. I'm
Fuck
blue. You fucking blew me. He
All right,
blew.
I'm not going to say
like,
it's one of the best songs of all
I
time,
like
but
that
like,
song.
don't talk shit about
Yeah,
it.
because people were like,
in the blue little window.
people when the trailer for Iron Man 2 came out or whatever.
That's in the
and it was
movie.
like,
It's the
I'm
intro.
blue,
And it's
I'm
awesome.
blue,
That
I'm
was
blue,
awesome.
I'm
Set the
blue,
tone
I'm
of the
blue.
90s.
Everyone's like, this is so great. I love that
lost
song.
my
I'm like,
shit.
That's just
none of
Tim
you
in
fucking-
review.
Can I have this?
I just can't fucking
Can I
believe
fucking
you don't
have
like
this?
the darkness.
It's bullshit. Because like, they were the 80s revolution.
You know what? Johnny Ace likes that song.
that I
Get
fucking
involved.
want that Webby. Don't fucking ask me.
We're
if you
getting the
have this,
streamy,
all right?
baby.
Which one's better, the Webby or the streaming? Because that's
I
what
don't
I'm going to
fucking
get.
care. They're all dumb. Who
Is the
knows?
streamy better?
Streamy's-
Which is the one you don't have to pay to enter for?
None. Yeah, probably none of them.
It's all pay to play.
I'm going to say
That
this.
would be. Honestly, that would be the best thing ever. Because obviously, I've looked into it for other podcasts and stuff. If all of a sudden you guys, you're like, want to stream? Like, holy fuck, that's awesome. I'm like, wait, don't you have to pay to get nominated? You're like, oh yeah, totally nominated. KFAF.
Oh yeah.
It's like, what about the other shows? You're like,
Dude,
"Nah."
I'm gonna get aggressive about this, similar to how I was gonna get aggressive about getting us on Pornhub. What advertising on Pornhub? I still want to
No,
do that.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
still in the plot. What I'm saying is this: we're still doing a fundraiser for the next 2 days. What if, in order to get us to Australia, we have five, like one of the tiers, one of the, what do they call them? Stopper points, perk points, points.
Let's go with per
Milestones?
points.
Thank you. One of the milestones is Andy
you
and Nick
talking about?
spend whatever this money is between this and the other milestone to try to buy a streamy for themselves.
Are they called meter stones in England?
The kilometer stones.
Kilometer.
Also, kidney stones
It's
are a real thing. So be careful. I'm many times do
Dude,
you
I
think
love
you've
the Wii
listened
menu
to the
music.
girl from Ipanema?
Super Mario.
How many times have you
RPG?
listened to her Palpert and the Tijuana Brass?
Got some Zelda.
Because I think they did that song at some point.
Oh, I don't know. But that's the thing is like anyone that covers that song, it's a perfect song.
It's a great song. Is
anyone going to fight me on this?
No.
Yeah.
No, Girl
Really?
From Ipanema is pretty.
It's a great song. I
I'd
mean, I
say
don't
Tom
think it's-
Sawyer is in like goes down as one of the best songs of all time.
Tom Sawyer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Sawyer
It does.
It's fucking dope.
A man is what
But I feel like Girl from Ipanema is like
Intergalactic's fucking amazing.
No, I'd say Sabotage.
Sabotage is better.
Sabotage. Is
Sabotage.
better.
Sabotage is
Better.
overplayed.
It does, but it's better.
I mean, that doesn't
better.
mean it's. I mean, because it's
I'm not
better.
saying
Take away from
Intergalactic
it.
is
It's just like
bad.
the-
It's great.
Yeah.
It's the
but
Final
Sabotage
Fantasy
is better.
7 of BC
It's
Boys
the
music.
American Idiot of Green Day.
I will say, what do you think the best BC Boys song is, though?
I mean, well.
Because I think it's What You Want. Is that the name of the song? So what you want?
No,
What you want?
no.
What you want?
Brass
Dude,
Monkey.
No, Brass Monkey is iconic.
Womp, womp, womp. And it's a great drink. Womp, womp.
It's yeah.
Dun. Oh yeah,
Womp,
you've had.
womp,
Remember when I brought
womp,
Monkey to the
womp,
that
womp,
our Beta Breakers back in the day when you used to party doggy dog.
Monkey was the guy from
those
Korn.
days.
Fucking Brass Monkey will fucking
What was
make
your
you go
perception of me
blind.
back then? Were you like, this guy's got it?
The most self-involved.
He says things so perfectly though. Like,
I would like everyone to step away from the microphones for a quick second. What was my perception of Nick Scarpino back at Beta Breakers?
Yeah.
I'd like everyone to step away from the
'Cause
microphones.
you came to the big
I'd like
one, right?
Everyone to stay away from the microphones. I did it, yeah, 2 or
You did it
3
like
years.
3 years in a row.
But I was definitely there the big year.
Yeah, you were the big year.
So to bring you up to speed, if you've never heard the stories before about Beta Breakers, San Francisco, 7 miles wide. They do a race called Beta Breakers every year. Where it's May. It's always against Judges Week, where they race from the east side to the west side.
From the Bay to the Breakers.
Exactly. Breakers, I don't think makes sense
Not
if
really
you're
a
not
thing,
from out
but
here. Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
even know what the fuck it is, but
I think
that's
it's where
fine.
the waves
Basically
break.
Cliff House.
Is that what it is? Yeah,
I guess
exactly. There's a group. The thing is, of course, though, and this is why I love San Francisco. And even though I don't participate as much as I used to back in the day, San Francisco is a city of adults that loves to party like they're college students. And so like to come here in your early 20s right off of Mizzou thinking I'd left all that shit behind me and then get here and have roommates and we just fucking get blind, stinking drunk all the time. Awesome. There's a race that is an actual race where people wake up early and run. Then
healthy.
behind the racers are all the people who love to fucking party doggy dog. And they follow the racers, and I use follow loosely because the racers are long gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
They go the race route in costumes, drinking their faces off, screaming at people, making out, lots of nudity because it's San Francisco, people throwing tortillas, and people lining the streets with their children to see this parade of drunk 20-somethings, usually nude, screaming obscenities. Do it. And the other thing that is the unsung heroes of Beta Breakers, of course, are the salmon who start on the other side dressed as salmon and run the opposite way so that they collide with the runners and swim upstream going the opposite direction and then party with everybody when they get there.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's hilarious.
Beta Breakers is one of
And then they
is
have-
my favorite
that's
SF.
so
They have
funny.
bears in the middle of them, like trying to grab them.
yeah, that's in the Castro.
So again, I've told the
they
Beta
come out,
Breakers
they come out.
story many a times, but the one Nick is referring to, the big one, is called the big one because what it was is that the IGN video team wanted to do this. They started doing it, and their idea, which was genius, was, hey, let's do it where we have the president and we have the Secret Service.
For context, Greg's not wrong. Like, everyone is either half naked or fully naked. And
Yeah.
most people, the theme usually is if you don't have something to go as, go to American Apparel, buy as many running clothes or jazzercise clothes or whatever. Make yourself look like you're an athlete from
many?
the 80s. You know what I mean? Like
As little.
Well, whatever. Dress up
You know
like.
how Halloween, it's always the joke of the slutty
Your
nurse.
mic.
But,
Plug it in.
oh, God, is that me or?
No, it's just this mic suck.
I think it's the cord.
Okay.
There it is.
It's always the thing of, you know how for Halloween the joke is slutty firefly or slutty
Right.
whatever. Like Beta Breakers is slutty everybody.
Right.
No
So
matter what you're going to do.
People are very scantily clad, but for the most part, they're either dressed as scantily clad runners or something else. So we had this idea of, someone told me this, and I Googled pictures, and I was like, oh my God, it would be so funny if, while everyone else is dressed as scantily as possible, we come in full suits. And that's how it started. I was like, we should come in full suits and just be like the anti-Beta Breakers, right? Like stopping people and fucking with people.
Rage Against the Machine.
And then somehow someone was like, what if we were like agents or FBI agents or whatever? We were just hassling people the entire time. And then someone else was like, what if we were like Secret Service agents and we brought the president with us? Like if we had a president and then we could just guard him the
This
entire
thought
time.
process was exactly the plot of the Fast and Furious movies.
Gee, I love it. I love it.
Because he gets to the end.
And so what it was that was brilliant. The year in the so I came on year 2, which was the big year. But stick with me.
No, I think year 3 was the big year. Year 2 was the year we had the podium that failed.
Oh yeah.
And then year 3 was the year that I put bigger
was too
casts on the
Fast and
podium,
Furious.
and we had 30 people there. With
Okay, then that was big year.
I think
guess.
you came out the first. Oh no, you came out the second year for sure.
Well,
Started second year.
here's how it goes in my head. You can tell me if it's big year or not.
Sure.
Your big year, but it was they had assembled a podium and they could hide a keg in it. This was the first year where they were like no kegs. We still did the keg. They eventually stopped us. But more importantly is this, and this is why we'll play heavily into what do I think of Nick Scarpino after Beta Breakers.
Yeah.
The year before I did it, which I thought was year 1, and I thought I did year 2. Maybe there's multiple years. Was the year before I did it was the final year of George W. Bush. So it was the Secret Service rolling through with Dave Clayman, friend of the show.
Dave Clement, who looks
as-
a lot like George W.
doesn't look anything like George W. But he's just a normal white guy who was
yeah,
acting
he's
as the
white.
president.
Yeah.
Just
and
says
so,
things, yeah.
in San Francisco, that meant boo and people throwing eggs
fun.
and people attacking and people being
Water balloons,
assholes.
squirting us with vodka and shit.
And so like they were psyching
all
me
like,
up
yeah.
for year 1 of like we have to be like the goal is you protect the president. You do this like whatever happens blah blah blah. What they didn't understand, of course, is that my year was year 1 of Obama. And we got our friend Aaron,
Yeah.
who's a black man
Aaron Balding.
who we loved, or formerly of IGN Weekly and all,
Yeah.
IGN in general, to be Obama. And fucking, you want to talk about the floodgates opening of people wanting their, we didn't walk every 45 seconds somebody was stopping you.
It was
They
you and
wanna-
PSX.
And here was the thing of it, where again, I definitely am not this emboldened as a person, right? But Beta Breakers, San Francisco, young 20-somethings, all drinking in a walking party. Everybody there was there to fuck.
Yeah.
And
People
I
wanted to party.
I am there blinded by everything that's happening. Because literally,
many good-looking
some
people.
of the most attractive people, men and women, walking just totally nude. Just fucking straight up nude. And the thing was that what the Secret Service guys and gals, I should point this out, that it was a co-ed group, had established was, you know what? Who's looking to fuck? Who's looking to get numbers? We didn't have Tinder. We didn't have phones at this point. You know what I mean?
you had to
Nobody had
actually
it. We
hit
had
on
rocks
people.
that we threw to people with numbers written on them.
Yeah.
For your home phone, your mom answered. But it was this idea. If someone approached the president and you wanted to hit it off with him, then what you would do is be like, do you mind if I pat you down? And it was totally consensual. Do you mind if I
Yeah,
pat
we
you
never,
down?
like, grow people,
Of course
but
not.
it was-
Of course not. Do you mind if I pat you down? And it would be like, no. And then it would be girls all the time of like, yeah. And guys, especially with some of the girls we were rolling with, of like,
Oh, we patted everyone
yeah.
down. Guys too.
Yeah.
100%. We
And
were
so
equal
like this was
opportunity
the
excuses.
thing though, and again, mind you, like I talk about like how that I think I mentioned on the stream, I don't think in this podcast, but over there like for Halloween in this neighborhood, the Halloween out in our ritzy area is the Halloween from the movies where kids are everywhere and like full size candy bars and everybody's going out. This is I never thought parties like this happen, where
yeah.
literally I saw people pat people down, and then the girl will be like, "You want to make out?" And it was like, "Yeah,
like the dancing bear.
So many people just made out.
It is dancing fucking bear.
And it's that
the-
thing, of
Yes.
course. It's that thing again where I don't want to name names about the making out sessions or photos that I may or may not have on my PlayStation 3 because it is my media server. But I saw a lot of people do that, right? And have a great time, and everything was amazing, and it was great. This is also the year that, I introduced Brass Monkey and Ty Root fell out of a tree. I digress. You want to know what my reaction to Nick Scarpino?
Let me tell this story real quick. So inevitably, I'm so sad.
Nick
you
wants to
missed
get
this.
out in front of it.
No. Inevitably.
Oh, it's not-
but what
it's not
happened
bad,
is
Nick.
this first year, when second year that Greg's talking about, when he came on and it became like 20 of us, right? Is what happened was we made this podium that I bought the wrong casters for. And they were just not heavy duty enough to hold a keg and a person on top and be pushed. They wore out within the first block. Jose Sanchez from EP joined us that year and took it upon himself with someone else as a rotating person to just push this sleigh now. It's become a sleigh because the wheels have grinded off and we're just grinding into the asphalt. We got it all the way to the panhandle. And finally everyone was like, we can't push this thing anymore, right? And that's what the party was. A lot of porta potties. People were just partying. That's usually where I would go anyway.
That's what the party was.
Unless you can make it.
A lot of porta potties.
Dude, no, he's not
No,
wrong.
because you
Dude,
had to-
when you got
had
to
to
the
pay.
Panhandle, everyone was blind, stinking, wasted.
Fucking
I will
gonzo.
never forget where, and I think about it all the time when I drive on it in the Panhandle before you get to Golden Gate Park, right there on Fell, right?
Yeah.
Where we were in one giant group, and again, every 45 seconds you're getting stopped. And I remember at one point we had a girl named Alex with us, and it was literally like we turned to her and we were having a conversation, yada yada yada. Turn back and blah blah blah, and then we all turned back and like, where the fuck did Alex go? What is going? And like literally, it was like, where did Alex go? And then 2 houses over and up, she was dancing out the window of the house, and we were all like, how did she just fucking vanish into this? And then we got there, and it was the port. It was there was like a moment where I feared for my safety. Where I shit you not, so we had run out of beer. Somebody's pushing a shopping cart, like I'm selling a beer, and I walked over. I'm like, I'll take a beer, and they're like, it's whatever it was gonna be. It's $5, and I gave them 20, and they gave me $25 back in the beer. And I was like, thanks. And people were climbing on the porta potties, dancing. And I'm like, this doesn't seem good.
I would love
so
it if you would have.
So we stop. We're mid conversation, right? I'm having a cigarette because back then this is why
This is when you party.
Shaved head, giant aviator glasses, and I'm having this intellectual conversation that I thought. And in my peripheral vision, I'm talking to you. My peripheral vision, I just see Ty Root fall out of a tree. He just falls
Because this goes
and walks away.
This goes back to what you were talking about with Brass Monkey. What I know with he turned off his shirt by this. What had happened is back at Mizzou, when I was an antler, we drank Brass Monkey out of a bottle that came from the club.
The Funky Monkey.
Thanks, thank you very much. The club makes a bunch of shitty drinks that are already pre-made.
Oh,
Brass Monkey is not everywhere, but club is, and it's usually like I don't even know, green, neon green shit. But they used to sell Brass Monkey in like pucker bottles, and
It's like the liquor store next to the taco
exactly
truck.
100%.
Oh,
and
no.
so we bought it when you're having a party at Mizzou. You're getting a 30 of Stones, you're getting a bottle of Brass Monkey, and you're making a paint can if you're getting crazy. And you all know the story.
Getting crazy.
And so it was like keep in mind the way this works in Greg Miller's timeline is like literally I had just gotten I'm getting divorced. I am on my own. My ex-wife isn't living with me anymore, and it's like week 2. So again, I'm not ready to be released into the wild of like, let me pat you down. Like that's not me. But it was like, I don't know what's going on, but it was like, I know I'm getting fucked up today. I know we're dressing as Secret Service in costumes. I love costumes. And I took an old Xbox case that I made into the football and I handcuffed to myself.
Yeah.
And I went out, beforehand, I went out and bought Brass Monkey, or looking for Brass Monkey. I went to 7 different liquor stores in SF before I found one that had it. And literally, I'll never forget it. I'm like, do you have Brass Monkey from the club? He's like, yeah, I think back there. I was like, holy shit. I grabbed these 2 bottles and pull them out. One is neon orange, like Crush. One is the dullest orange I've ever seen. And I've been drinking Brass Monkey for years, and I'm like, all right. And we bought them both and put them into those reusable bottles. Yeah, and like a cop stopped me at one point. He's like, what's in the football? And I opened it up, and he's like, I'm like, it's Gatorade. He's like, thanks for taking care of your friends, and shut it and blah, blah. Smash cut to we're walking these kegs, we're fucking wasted off of beer, and we've been doing shots and this that. People are spraying us with squirt guns filled with You Hope vodka. I mean, it's definitely alcohol.
Well, I mean, every once in a while, and we'd have to protect the president, so we'd call like Code Red, and everyone had to come.
Fran Mirabelle has this. I have it too, but this amazing photo of me holding up the football and taking a direct vodka shot out of it. Anyways, though, we're already drunk and we're getting into the Panhandle. We're somewhere in this part of losing Alex, and everyone's like, "Where's that monkey thing you're talking about?" I'm like, "Great idea," and I can't unlock it probably because I'm wasted. Also, it was a cheap video game time. So in the middle of this street, I'm like, don't worry. I grab it and I just go, and this metal suitcase comes fucking apart in the street. And I bust out these 2 Najee bottles and we all start drinking in Thai root. And I'm like, he's going fast. And I'm like, slow down. The monkey is not one to be played with. And he is like, nah, I'm from Austin. I'm working out and blah, blah, blah. And so, for me, honestly, the $25 beer exchange and then walking into the tunnel are some of my last, real lucid memories for a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I remember, Tyroot eventually coming back to me, sunglasses askew, no shirt on, and being like, I fell out of a tree.
I think we're mixing up the 2 years, but by the 3rd year, it became apparent that, the people who were putting on Beta Breaker and the San Francisco police
were so not about it.
Were like, we got to clamp down. No kegs. If we see your keg, we're taking the tap away, and you're just gonna be useless. So they were like, no booze, no nothing.
Only like dicks 5 inches and bigger,
dude.
Like,
so we were like, cool. We'll take the keg out. We put a bucket with a ton of beer and a ton of shit in it. A bucket. It ended up being cool. You know, like a thing with ice and shit. It ended up being cool. But what was great about it was I was like, look what we've all made. It was one of those amazing moments where I'm like, this started with 5 people, briefcases, and Jack Daniels. We all named ourselves after, like, I was Agent Daniels because I had Jack Daniels. Eric Carr was Agent Wolfslogger because he bought some weird we had no money. He bought some weird off-brand shitty fucking rum. Flash forward, we meet at Craig Baradon's house, which is in the Lower Haight, and we take this picture, and there must have been like at least 25 of us there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe 30.
Oh, yeah.
Katie Frick, with all my friends, everyone was there. We had this vast array of agents, and I had to go through the ground rules. I was like, make sure you talk to people beforehand. The idea is, you know, we're having fun, but he's the president. If anyone wants to take a picture of the president, like they got it. You got to make sure they don't have any weapons on him. It's all a big joke.
We were bells of the ball.
Yeah.
And I'm
We
not
got written up on the SF Chronicle.
We were the front page of the SF Chronicle. We were on the news. I have screen grabs on my phone, I think, of like Jim Riley, and it might have been year 2, but us, or my year 2, pushing it with like this. Anyways, though, to the point of where this all started. Yeah. What did I think of Nick Scarpino after Beta Breakers? This, I think, sums up Nick Scarpino better than ever, and also my own, like, because I remember in college, I didn't have a Facebook. I didn't know fucking how to do any of this shit. I had a Facebook now because of IGN and all this shit. Beta Breakers is on Sunday, right? Because they hope you won't be. And it's Monday morning. At IGN, we're back there, like, oh, this is so amazing. What a great time. That's so great. And Nick, who doesn't talk to me at work, literally comes over and saddles up to me at the desk and like, hey, that was a fun time yesterday, right? And I'm like, oh man, it's so great. He's like, yeah, I saw you posted a lot of photos on Facebook. I'm gonna need to have you take these down for the following people. And he's like, it was like, this guy has a girlfriend. He was visiting. I was like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry.
Right.
And Nick was
I think it was one of Nate's friends or something like that.
I'm not gonna name names. Right. I remember who the people were. But right. Nick was very much like, he came in as the surgical, like, hey, that was fun, right? You crossed the line, and they've nominated me to come talk to you because I'm the guy who does these things.
I love that. Dude, no, Beta Breakers is dangerous.
It was dangerous.
Oh my god.
Because my perspective on it was very different. While you guys were doing that, I was in high school. My high school friends were there too.
I'm sure we saw them.
Yeah, I'm sure you did too.
Some of them.
When you were talking about your friend getting lost or whatever in that other house, for some reason I just imagine that Cool Greg was somewhere there, but the same age as he is now. Like he's just kind of always been around these parts, like
Tim, you want to give
just being
he's
the
like
night
a spirit.
Yeah, I love it.
I have 2 pictures of me that survived from this that are.
Oh, I have them all.
Quasi risque. One is obviously I'm smoking cigarettes and all this stuff.
Sure.
One, but that I'll never forget. And Ty Root sends it to me like on my birthday every year because he's like, just don't forget where you fucking came from, right? You might have this picture. This is I'm smoking a cigarette. I think I'm either blowing smoke out or giving the camera thumbs up, and I had posed with this guy and his girlfriend. Now she's completely topless, and he's completely topless. They're both just they went as runners, but they both just wore the runner shorts, right? I'm over the hill that there's a good looking over the moon, whatever. I'm also
You're over the hill now.
Thank you,
you old fogey.
I'm just like I'm having a great time. Look, this is such a great city. This woman who's good looking and topless and is posing it with a picture of me, and her boyfriend's totally cool with it. He's hanging out here, totally great. We take the picture. Flash forward 1 day later, I'm like, and people are like, man, all this crazy stuff. I was like, I know this this couple wanted to take a picture with me, and she was totally topless. And take a look, and I can't remember who I showed it to, but they were like, Nick, you need to look a little harder at that picture.
Oh fuck, I forgot about this.
And I was like, what are you talking about? Because I was clearly focused on the girl that I was standing next to, and I look over, and the reason the boy took a picture was because it's me, cigarette, me, girl who's topless, boyfriend, and his nutsack just hanging out. He popped one nut out. It was just like, and I was like, you motherfucker. It's the funniest picture.
I totally remember that photo, and I totally forgot about that.
Oh, God.
God, yeah, you're going to make me fucking dig out my fucking Beta Breakers photos on my
Beta
PS3.
Breakers not the same as it was.
No.
Oh, no. Because he makes the great point is like,
it shouldn't be the existing
my first year was the year they banned kegs. We pushed the thing. They stopped us, and they were cool that year. They were like, we got to take your tab.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, fuck. But remember, we got stopped right, not at Division Page, but like right in that area where there's that liquor store right on as you go into Fell on the Panhandle. And like, we're going to go in there, buy a bunch of Philadelphia. They were like, we don't give a shit. Okay, great. And we did that.
Yeah.
everything. And then the next year was the one where we're cracking down again. No more of this shit. And then Eric went and registered. Like he went through the whole thing of like, fine, I'll get a race number and I'll do all this shit to make sure we can still party. And then year after year, it got more and more like.
But I
this
feel like
isn't as
now
cool.
it's evolved into SantaCon. If you don't know,
SantaCon is terrible. And should be stopped.
Seems terrifying.
It's terrible. There's too many of those things. Like I tried to take part in SantaCon one time. I went to our bar and I walked in because I was meeting some friends there, and it was SantaCon. I had no idea what was happening, and I was like, "Why the fuck is everyone here dressed as Santa? And why is the temperature in this place 117 degrees?"
You realize it's the same thing as your beta breakers. You're just older now.
Oh, I mean that's also the thing too. Is like we aged out of it, right?
Oh,
like,
I mean that's I remember the one time when I was like. I want to go to the off the grid picnic at the Presidio, go to the Wing tent, see Christian, get some wings. This is gonna be a lovely day. And I woke up, I'm like, fuck, it's beta breaker. I can't cross the park. There's no way to get out of my part of the town.
You're now the old person in Caddyshack when it's the pool, the caddy pool time.
Right. Not even the old person thing. Like for me, growing up here, it was always a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Because it was just like there was maybe like a 4-year period where it was fun because it was like, oh, there's naked people. Otherwise, it was just like, man, it's hard for me to get to school.
Yeah.
Or it's hard for me to get to wherever the fuck I needed to go, including years after your guys' shenanigans, getting to the old office to record the podcast, like Game of Grady show. There were so many days that we'd be coming in to record because this is back when we were still at IGN. So it's like many weekends.
It's the bluegrass. Oh, fucking shit.
And then, and they lived super fucking close to all this shit.
Yeah.
So do you remember that one time me and you were stuck during Beta Breakers driving? I don't remember what we were shooting.
We were doing a shoot, like a full-blown shoot.
No.
Yeah. Oh, it was
Did it
Follow
take you
the
like
Leader.
2 or 3 hours to get somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the leader.
It might have been the
Fucking
same
Follow
year.
the Leader.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Fucking follow the leader.
That
It was
hard.
horrible.
That was hard. Yeah, it's just part of me, like, for old time's sake, wants to just go out there one of these days and walk it, you know? Like the heyday. Like when, like Joe Montana goes back on the field and then he just walks around and feels the grass, you know? Like I used to.
Is Nick
I was
Scarpino
gray
the
hair.
Joe Montana of Beta Breakers?
Yeah.
It's a second
I
Joe
might have
Montana
been.
reference.
People
to
still
the
talk
show.
about the Secret Service, right? And how completely, totally
hear
ridiculous
there's
it was.
still wisps.
People still talk about it on the Kind of Funny podcast.
This is only funny.
We're talking about it right now.
This is only funny, I guess, to this room and this table of people who know San Francisco. There I am.
That's
Holy
it.
shit.
Did you
Where is
Google
that
that?
from?
Someone tweeted it at us.
Oh,
That was
Jesus
when they were
God.
taking our tap, I believe.
Yeah, I think it is.
If I'm not mistaken.
I'll retweet it if you're a live
Kind of
person.
funny vids will tweet it out too.
Okay,
Yeah.
well then I guess Kind of Funny Vids is gonna do a fucking follow me real kind. My favorite thing about that, of like again how small my vision of San Francisco was, because I only knew districts very specifically. Of like I knew the Mission and I knew right down around Metreon because I was there all the time, but no idea how things connect. Yada yada yada. I will never forget being blind drunk. Stumbling out of the park because once we got to the Panhandle and we got to Golden Gate Park and it literally everybody stopped.
Yeah, you
And it
had
was
to.
just
You
partying in
couldn't
the
go
park.
farther.
And I remember Eric Hart lived over there and he was like, let's just push the fucking thing out of here. There's a pizza place. And I was like, all right,
Urban
great.
Pizza, yeah.
And we pushed it out into the streets of what is the Sunset and where I would live. Like literally we pushed it out to where the old studio was.
Yeah.
Eric lived a little bit away from that.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I had ever seen that part of the city. And I remember coming out and being like, I went from this lush, amazing park to just walls of houses. I'm like, where the fuck are we? You know what I mean? And I remember I went to the pizza place with Jose Sanchez, and then we got on the Muni, my first time ever riding the Muni, and I was slammed in there with a million other morons drunk as shit. And I was like, what is this city?
Like, this is
Where
the
am I?
greatest city on the
Yeah, I
planet.
know, right? Yeah.
Man, that was fun. I'll never forget the first year we did it. It was Nate Ahern's like second day in the city, and he knew none of us. And Craig, he was rooming with Craig, and Craig's like, "Hey, we're doing this beta thing, like beta breakers thing tomorrow. It's like we're just gonna drink on the streets." And Nate was like, "Cool, what do I need to do?" And he's like, "You just gotta have a black suit." So Nate went to the thrift store, bought a black suit, and came and was like, "Who the fuck are you people?" It was fun. It was fun.
Look at these photos that are
There you
coming
go.
up. There's Ty,
That's for Gozy right
Sean,
there.
Katie.
Can you pull up? Can you see
yeah, I
this
can
right
read
now?
stuff.
Greg retweeted him.
Yeah, I just retweeted them both actually. If you go to my Twitter account, yeah. Man, what a blessing!
Katie and Tara,
And these
that
are the
was so
ones we were
fun.
like, we're okay to post these. Wait till you fucking see the ones I wouldn't ever post.
I mean, yeah. Now I'm wondering like what's in there.
$120,000.
I know
level.
for a fact.
I'm legitimately not worried about myself.
Oh,
I
no.
want to know about other people.
For you, it's
I wanna see these
I know
pictures
for
of,
a
like-
fact. I remember I have a photo, multiple photos of you patting down a woman in her bra and panties. Who you were single? She was single.
Oh, it was
Everything-
consensual.
yeah,
I want to make this clear too.
Well, no, I do too, and that's
Yeah.
why I said it. We were a co-ed group. We definitely got to both sexes,
Yes.
and it definitely was.
Consensual.
Are you okay with this? And if they
Yes.
were like, no, I just want a photo. Like, oh, totally.
There were, and there were multiple people who were like, "You're not fucking touching me." We're like, "Cool."
totally. Yeah.
That was it. That's how it were. There was no lines crossed. Well, there was lots of lines crossed, but those lines wanted to be crossed. Let's put it that way. It was very. It was all in good fun, and there was, I'm sure.
I've retweeted the photo with me and the cop, and Cool Greg responds with the emoji with an eye raised and then a frowny emoji.
I brought up this photo.
Yeah, that's great. That was my first
Yeah,
year.
that's
where
Katie right there.
I
So
have the
that's-
football.
She's just wearing a bra.
Katie-
today.
She's just wearing a bra. That's I think a lot of the ladies just wear a bra.
Katie,
Wore a
yes,
bra.
Katie's wear a bra. I think behind that was Clayman's girlfriend. I want to say, or something like that. In the far,
Who is that
back
on the
in
left?
back. That's Fergosi. That's my friend.
know.
Anthony that works with Brennan. That's his brother.
No shit.
What
Yeah.
a great last name.
So
That's such like,
Fergosi,
hey,
yeah,
Fergosi.
Fergosi came out.
Fergosi, get over here.
Oh, I forget who that woman was.
I
know
don't
who she
remember
was.
This
either.
person.
The one
That-
on the left looks like the
Our
love
screen
interest
is really dark.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't see what you're talking.
I don't know
about.
that. Yeah, it's on mine too, though. I don't see it. Right in front of that Popeyes, though.
Yeah.
She looks like the girl from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the girl on the front. left.
that chicken from
Santiago.
Popeyes.
Yeah.
That kind of looks like
probably
you.
on-
9-9?
The guy holding the
That
meat
is
is
not-
I
no,
wore
no.
like big ass sunglasses.
Why is our TV dark?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Not only is the TV dark, it keeps flashing the mute symbol every
Yeah,
so often.
it's weird.
I think
Well,
somebody's sitting on the
no,
controller.
That's because it's muted.
Oh, really? It flashes?
It just likes to
Yeah, it likes to
remind
flash.
you.
My apologies.
Maybe
my
you need to.
apologies.
Do you need to increase the brightness on the monitor that you're looking at? I don't know. It
No,
doesn't matter.
why don't you just raise the volume and maybe that'll wake it
No
up.
one knows where the
Look how
remote is.
fucking great Aaron looks in that picture, though. And
Aaron
the podium, by
Bowman?
the way,
Yeah.
was elevated so that
Oh, yeah.
everyone could always see the president. It was
so
fucking
good.
great. He after his first year, he did it. He was like, "Hey, man, seriously, whatever I have to do, I'm coming back next year." It was
love
great.
it. I love it.
He got so drunk. And- yeah, that was so
president,
fun.
man.
You have to.
That was great. Look at Sean Rivers. Look at him. Jesus.
We are all babies.
I wish we had
You
the
know what I
picture.
mean?
I wish we had the picture of everyone because we took a picture of
I
everyone.
definitely
on the steps.
have that somewhere.
That was so fun.
My computer, as usual, in this room is kryptonite, so I
Yeah,
can't really.
that was the last of our innocence. I don't know how we got on that.
That was the last of your innocence.
Yeah. Before I became a corporate
Wait, so
fucking
did you
sellout for
ever
IGN.
say what you thought about Nick?
I
Yeah,
said
what
it was
was-
all summed up by him being the one guy who
yeah,
came over to me to
my
be
God.
like, "Hey, they sent me to tell you to take these photos down."
Andy,
Yeah, that's what happened.
what was the first thing you thought about Nick? I guess it's a little weird.
You can
'cause
say it. I don't
you've
give a shit.
listened to him.
No, I mean, well, I was just fans of all of you, so it's. I mean,
answer.
it's not. I wouldn't get like a weird vibe or anything like that.
You knew.
What was your first thought of me? Because you didn't know who the fuck I was.
What was my first thought of you?
Please tell me you have these.
I'm working on it.
I
I
don't
might
really
be.
know.
I
I don't
might be
really
getting
know.
hacked. I'm not
I don't
paying
remember the
attention.
first
Because
to
I
what
just
I'm
like,
doing.
Not
I mean, you're
secure.
all just kind of any best
Yeah.
friends, so I was
Yeah.
like, all these people are cool.
The first time I remember talking
I
to
forgot to
you
touch me.
was the meetup where we,
What is this?
not
thing?
saying names, of where we tried to catfish someone as
This
a
is
group.
definitely me.
Oh,
Greg incited it,
right.
but you and I were talking about pop punk bands and stuff.
Oh,
vaguely-
PSX 2015.
Yeah, that
No,
was the first event.
No,
I
yeah, it
went to.
was. Or was it? I don't know.
Who are you catfishing?
I don't think it was.
Not saying names.
Did you catch them?
It's no names.
Maybe.
It's no catfish. I was telling Nick this earlier.
Sure.
It's weird in this building because
Yeah.
like we've had years now of the voices that are in this household speaking, doing the things
At this
that they
table.
do at this table, at any table here, and it's like we kind of know who's doing what. It's usually Kevin, but when it's not, you know who's saying what. You know when Andy's talking. You know when Andy's
yeah.
talking. There's one voice that I'm just like,
Can't get used to it.
what the fuck? And I'll look at Nick sometimes and we're back, a couple rooms back, and it's like that weird thing of like, who the fuck is talking right now? And it's like, oh, it's Barrett.
Yeah.
H. John Benjamin.
Well, what's even crazy too is that we have the core cast of people here, but then we have the ancillary cast too, like the Alyssas that pop in. I heard Alyssa's voice, I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And this is what I love about your girlfriend, by the way.
Yeah.
Comes in, sick as a dog. Walks in, and she was like, hey, what's going on? I was like, oh, hey, what's going on? What are you doing? She's like, I heard there was food here.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was like, it's in there.
She was like, should I come over? I was like, wings are coming on
Might
their
as
way.
well.
Like, come
She
over.
goes, cool. Goes in, helps. I was like, hell yeah, of course, help yourself to whatever. She's like, yeah, I appreciate it. She was joking, by the way. She was like, I came for the food. Came down, ate, left.
Yeah.
Just bounced.
Well, she came down, ate, she was dying sick. That was who was it? Somebody called her out. She's had a tissue up her nose hanging out of her nose.
I took a
Not
picture
even
of
like
it.
holding it. It was just in there.
Yeah.
And she's
We're
just
like, yeah.
talking to me and Nick
Yes,
being
be
like,
that comfortable here.
Hey,
a normal thing.
La La Land was not the best musical. And me and Nick are like, what's happening right now? I love it so much.
But yeah, shout out to her because she like still has taught this whole week. 'Cause she got the sickness we all had that spread throughout this office.
Someone gave it to her.
Man, Photobucket
Was it
sucks.
Bear?
No wonder
Was
it
it
takes so long.
Who knows?
Photobucket,
dying, you know?
What is that? Was that? Oh my god! Was that
that's a-
Ichiban?
Library. That's
Holy
Amy Doe. That's Craig
shit.
Barron with a
You know, I
mohawk.
just
Yes,
want to give her
it
credit
is.
where credit's due. She
Craig looks
hung out.
terrible with a
That
mohawk.
sucks.
We gotta go to the next one. You got
Oh,
47.
here, Beta Breakers, 91 photos. That's what I need.
Beta Breakers is terrible.
Was that 91 photos?
Again, this is probably
Terrifying.
everything that's on the
I
PlayStation.
remember it might have been
man.
the same year that it took you forever to get to the old place.
Yeah.
Where there was one year that I had to drop Alyssa off to dog sit somewhere. And it was the day of Beta Breakers. And I was trying to get on the other side of the park. And it took me... She was in the Richmond. And this is when we were in the Outer Sunset. And it should have been a 15-minute drive.
Max.
It took
you don't.
2 hours to get home.
Yeah, but you guys don't understand. Like this is a long time ago. This is pre-Uber. So what none of us thought about, obviously, because we were fucking dumb and like who gave a shit, was how am I gonna get home?
Oh, yeah.
I had to get a cab, and there weren't any. My second year, I had to walk out of Beta Breakers like it was a fucking war zone. And I had to keep walking until I got far enough away to be able to hail a cab. The first year we paid a black car to go, like,
What
like a
about
limousine to
transit,
come
dude?
pull us. What's that?
Public transit.
You had to.
Fuck
And that's why
that.
Gray did it. Because like
What am
the
I, a
thing is now we have
pedestrian?
Uber, but the city, for people that don't know, San Francisco kind of just falls into quadrants, and there's like four
It's a good
quadrants.
grid, you know?
Yeah, and there's two of them on the west side of the city, Sunset and Richmond. That if you're over there, taxis will not go there.
No.
They
And
just
that's where
literally
you-
will not leave because it's not worth it for them to
That's
go
where
that
you have to
fucking far.
rely on the L train, the N train, the 28,
28, the
and
1, the 38.
and then up the 38. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
those are all
There's
four
the
of
monkey.
those. 38 and 28 specifically are reliable enough where you
Absolutely.
can get where you need to go in a general area.
Yeah,
That was the final year.
The N, not so much. The N is awful.
awful at all times. Any of the trains are awful.
Yeah.
Close that
Greg,
ad.
what are you looking at?
We
found
all
Beta
the
Breakers.
things I was talking about are
Oh,
here,
Jesus,
and
I'm
fucking
scared.
goddamn Photobucket.
Can you send it to Kevin?
No,
Should
that's
you
a
send it to Kevin?
Absolutely terrible idea. We're not doing that.
Yeah, we haven't looked through them
we need
enough
to
to,
send some of these
clarify
pictures.
that. Because
Some
I
of these
think,
people are
I think
married
this
now.
is this is probably the one where we're gonna. Yeah, there's a lot of things in here.
Also, yeah, I mean, like we don't want to be showing. There's
there are
probably
a lot
might be
of
people that
yes.
don't wanna be
There's
showing
Tyreek
got
getting
the
into the
stories.
monkey.
People at risk.
Eric's sister.
Well, I just mean there's a lot of like random people. I don't know who
lot
these
of ball
people are.
sacks.
There's a lot of ball sacks.
of
The
ball
ball sack
sacks.
pictures in here somewhere probably. God, that was
When you
so
showed me
fun.
that picture, I died because it's so relatable.
It's so
man.
dumb. Okay,
It's
well,
San
See, I'm
Francisco,
pretty sure
dude.
that's you
That's probably
with
me.
this woman here.
No, I never had
Well,
a
I guess
pinstripe
that's
suit
it,
though.
yeah.
I never wore a pinstripe suit.
There's Tyrese.
Tyrese
shirtless, but he still has the tie on from after he
Jen
fell
Yao?
out of the
Is
tree.
that Jen Yao? Is that-
Yeah.
That's Jose.
There's the porta potty thing I was talking about. People
It was
dancing on the
ugly,
porta
yeah, that was
potties.
terrifying.
I believe this is the one where you were specifically
Yeah,
like,
we're not gonna
that guy. Of
show
course, we're not gonna
that,
show any of
yeah.
these. We're not gonna show any of these. These people, whatever. But here's me in the bathroom of, I guess, Irving Pizza to give you an idea. I'll send this to Kevin Hodge.
Oh my god, what is that?
Yeah, let's send that one for sure.
I'll send that to Kev.
You look like Vincent D'Onofrio from Full Metal Jacket in the scene where he's
yeah.
about to shoot
Yes,
the fucking drill
yes.
instructor.
I'm sending it to Control.
Andy, what was your expectation of San Francisco versus
No,
now
that's
your
not
reality of San Francisco?
That's my email.
I had been here
address. I don't know
before
what
and
you're
I was
talking
scared by the very aggressive homeless people. I came here for PSX and they were like way more aggressive than they were in
PSX
Austin.
2015.
You
Yeah.
gotta just ignore them. That's the trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am now.
My mom once got
Just
followed
download it.
like 12 blocks by a homeless person because they were like, oh, like, can you give $1? And she's like, no, sorry, I don't have cash. And they followed her
No,
all
you
the way
gotta
to
ignore
work.
them. That's
Yeah.
the problem. Just
Yeah.
ignore them.
It's fucked
It's
up.
automatic because I mainly use it for making thumbnails, so I'm already going to Photoshop.
Great photo, man.
God, that
It's
was that is a fucking. And I remember that. That was when we were all beat.
Nick, just a heads up. We do have this.
yeah, we'll still do that. Don't worry. Shut it so people can't see
we
it.
can end with that.
I just sent it to you, Kev. So you have a chance to look at that.
God
man.
damn.
Bring that up for people, and that'll
Holy
that's at the bathroom.
shit.
I think at Irving Pizza.
Yeah, that'll punctuate.
Oh man.
What's going on there?
Hold on.
Kevin.
You just look like you feel so cool.
I'm sorry, I look like what?
You feel so cool.
I know that's clearly me being like, I'm fucked up. Take a photo of how fucked up you are, Greg. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it.
Great hair back there.
Is that a
That's very
mirror?
short. Yeah.
It kind of looks like you're in a hole somewhere. It looks like you're like
You're 100% correct. And if anybody wants to seal this, and Kevin, you take us out of the bottom.
you're about to climb out and come after us.
Hold on. If anybody wants to screen cap this and post it to like subreddit of like pics you see before you die, you are welcome to. Because that is 100%. It looks like you turn a corner in a horror movie and I'm sitting there in the doorway ready to murder
Yeah.
you.
It's like some Fight Club shit.
You are just.
It
mentally
was a
disturbed.
special day.
That is great, man. That is fucking great.
Back to us.
There it
Thank
is.
you so much. So then, Joey Noel.
Joey! Joey!
This is a good episode.
It's a great episode.
Yeah,
Aren't they always? Kind of Funny
the
podcast
last,
hasn't
like,
missed
the
yet,
last
and it
four have
never
been
will.
great.
True.
Joey, where are we with fundraising stuff?
Guys, I need a drum roll. That's how this works. Thank you.
Kevin, do you want to bring up a thermometer, or is it not worth
I'm
thermometer?
on it.
We're at. This is where my brain dies.
Joey!
This is where my brain dies. We are at $78,800.
Whoa.
So we're 1,200 short of 80K. Is that did I do that math right?
Yeah.
1,200 short of 80K and getting an up and come around here. We got what? One more day?
We got one more day.
One more day of fundraising.
One more day.
to get 1.2. I just like saying that better than.
Send someone out here.
Barrett yelled, "Send somebody out here!" Like similar to when Kevin says, "Put a chip in me."
Put a chip on me.
Why, Nick?
We have one more photo challenge, isn't that correct?
We do. Our
do that in the
dear
post
friend.
show?
Oh yeah, we can do it on the post show. That sounds fun.
Really? Okay.
And we can tease it right now if you guys want. But
If you like Josh McCouga content, then ladies and gentlemen, boy howdy, do we have a post show for you.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah. I urge you to come check it out. Patreon.com/kindafunny. You can get the post show there as an audio file or an MP3. I assure you this one will work better as a video. Of course, if you're watching live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames right now, don't go anywhere. This 12-hour stream continues. We will end with the post show. Oh, that's the train. I thought that sounded like...
like the new train.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'm not used to it yet. If you're just watching this on YouTube, though, or listening on MP3, this has been the Kinda Funny podcast. Each and every week, usually four best friends gather on this table, each talking about their lives and what's going on in their big old noggins. Ain't that right, Nick?
Yep.
If you like it, you can go to patreon.com/kindafunny. You can get the show early. You can get the show ad-free. You can get it with the pre and post show where we're about to go do a Josh McCouga challenge. There's all sorts of good stuff in there. Am I just getting... Did Photobucket close and just turn into a site that rips you off?
I mean, I assume
Photobucket
so.
is flipping the fuck out right now, and it does not look safe.
You know what? I bet you it's just one of those things where it's not really compatible with Chrome or some bullshit like
Yeah,
that.
probably not.
I probably also just got my identity stolen. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's been our pleasure to serve you.